Okay, everyone. Turn my microphone on pretty loud since I'm in the kitchen. Pretty loud because I'll be like passing by, back and forth. Oh, maybe I'll turn the desktop audio a bit. Alright, so yeah, I turned on my mic gain a bit higher. Not a bit, actually quite a bit higher. So hopefully you guys can hear me. So I'm gonna like going back and forth around the kitchen until like I'm done cooking. So in the today's menu box up on top, I'm just cooking with whatever leftover ingredients I have. So from several days ago. Not too sure what we're gonna cook yet though. Let's see. Do have some leftover spam actually. Maybe we can make like a small omelet or like maybe a sandwich, an egg sandwich with the spam and the egg. Let's see. I'm gonna try saying a fancier sandwich. I do have some bread left over as well. What was it again? Oh, maybe I should have changed my pinned message, but maybe I'll just put in the chat just for now. No, it's fine. But yeah, but since I'm cooking for now, I won't be able to respond to chat all the time because I don't have. I'm moving around my mic rather than my laptop right now. So there's some stuff I won't be able to do right away, but I'll definitely try to answer everything. So, let's see. I do have tomatoes. I'm not sure an omelet. It wouldn't be a very big omelet though, because I don't have much eggs left over as well. Oh, Vircon. Pretty hungry right now. Yep, I'm hungry too. I'm hungry. I've been hungry too because I purposely didn't eat anything when I came back home. I don't know when this stream will end. We'll probably end in around like 3 hours, maybe 3-4ish hours, but somewhere either between there or exactly at 4. But for now, let's see. I have some peppers left over though. It's not like traditional bell peppers. It's like more of like those long chili peppers. Let's see. What else do we have? Maybe I'll make an omelet. One of my roommates is home too, so I need to make. I'm probably gonna make a portion for her too. If I do make one. I thought I'm just gonna get a knife and just split it in half. I'll probably make an egg sandwich with the spam in it, like I said earlier. And a fanciest sandwich-ish. And I'll probably just make a small, if there's any leftovers, I'll make something with like a very small, like, maybe fried egg with the remaining ingredients, but I guess not fried, but you know, like when you like scramble the egg up in a bowl. I might mix that with the remaining leftover ingredients. Okay, first things first. Maybe I'll just make 2 sandwiches instead of splitting a bread in half. The bread I got this time isn't that whatchamacallit. They're not that big, the slices. What kind of bread do you guys usually eat? As I've talked about this before, but I live nearby a few Asian places. The bread I buy, okay, sometimes I go to Rouse and or like whatever grocery nearby at Rouse. I mean, this is American after all. Rouse, what else do you say? Costco every now and then, not really. I live pretty far from many Costco's. I think I said before, but I don't live in the city. But, and the Asian places near me are just local stuff. Bread? And just what type of bread do you guys usually eat? Let's see. Does he even plug? No. Get the toaster. The bread I usually eat is either white, or if I do go to local Asian places, I just get like milk bread. It's really just, it just tastes much sweeter than white bread, but it can still work in sandwiches and stuff. Let's see, I think I can actually get a bigger bowl for the eggs. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I think I could just mix up the remaining spam. Pretty boring. You usually go for a while. I'm not gonna put any other bread though. Me neither. But yeah, I usually have milk or white or wheat. Any of the three. I know there's different breads like sourdough. Was it rye bread? No. I don't know that mixed type of breads, to be honest. But let's see. The stuff I'm gonna put in the sandwich is gonna be. Let me get. What do we have left? Okay, I think 3 should be enough to make an egg sandwich with the spam on the inside. The reason why I said spam in this is because the spam is actually cut into chunks already. So, they're diced, I mean, I guess is a better word. They're diced. There are a few, like, normal pieces, but... There's that. Okay. Let's take a picture of all the ingredients, though, before... I start making everything. Alright, I'm gonna take a picture of the bread. Gosh, never mind. I already put the bread in the. I already put the bread in the oven, so that's a bit too late. My day off. Don't mind me. I'm still here, but I'm gathering on Final Fantasy 14 at the same time. Oh, Final Fantasy 14. I never ended up. I used to play MMOs as a kid, but I never ended up continuing playing them as I got older. The MMO I played the most as a kid was MapleStory, actually. I never got like too far into it though. I never got too far into it though. I was just gonna making new characters and trying out all the different classes. I think I only had one really like leveled up character. Let's see. Don't have much tomatoes. Only this one little tomato. Let's see. What else can we put inside? The fridge is open for too long to be a noise. Let's see. There's a poor half slice of avocado left. So maybe we'll just put that in the sandwich. What's it bring back memories? Yep. I think man, it's been so long since I actually played MapleStory, I just realized. The last class I made in MapleStory, I think, was Chase. When Chase, like a year, when Chase actually came out. For those of you who don't know, Chase is the animal tamer class, basically, or the beast tamer class, whichever people call it. I think I actually created her like a little after she came out, like during like the second or third time she had come out. She's actually a limited character for anyone who doesn't know MapleStory. Limited in that you can only make her during certain times of the year. There we go. But yeah, I didn't. Of course, I didn't level her up all the way either, though. I think my highest level class was. I think it was just the normal cleric, you know, bishop. That chain class. I didn't play. Once again, I don't think I ever heard of I don't think I ever tried MapleStory. I tried MapleStory when it was alive. No, sadly, I didn't try MapleStory 2 when it was alive. Actually, I suppose it is a bit sad that Maple Story kind of died, but at the same time, it wasn't too different from the original Maple Story, so I'm guessing that's why people didn't really like, play it enough. Let's see. Is there any more vegetables you can put in here? Veggies. Do you have any cheese for the sandwich? We do. There's Kraft singles though, I think. Are these even Kraft singles? Yeah, that's the brand. The normal American cheese brand, which isn't really an amazing cheese brand, but it's serviceable enough. Let's see. Let's see anything else we can put instead. Oh, we do have some cabbage and stuff that we can put on. Let's take a picture of all the ingredients right now, really, really quick. Yes. Maybe I'll just take it on top of this table because it's super. It's very. It's not. It's just a pure black table. Nothing really. Nothing really like unique about it. Work it. I guess I'll just make a sandwich, which isn't that fun, but it's just whatever, just whatever's left at home. Okay, only one cheese. I have like more than enough ingredients for one person because I said I would make the food for my roommate, but let me just take a picture of the ingredients real quick, guys. Get that out of the way. Table of actually not. It has quite a lot of stuff on it, but like papers and other stuff, so a lot really quickly. Let's see. I do enjoy cooking streams. Alright. Let's see. Man, black table reflects a bit too much. I'll go take... We'll take a picture of this all on... Oh, what else can I... Okay. I'll probably take this picture on the other table that we have that's pure white, so it shouldn't reflect anything. Give me a second. And over here. All right. I'm gonna take a picture, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, came back. We'll upload the picture real soon. There we go. Some of the ingredients back in the fridge because I won't be cooking with them at the moment. Namely the cheese. Get out just for a quick second for a picture, but the eggs are here because I'm gonna crack them. So have avocado back in. Okay. And I'll just put the two slices of bread down here. Or 4 actually. Okay. There we go. You know, I love when I was younger was Mabiongi? Actually, Babinogi? That sounds really familiar, actually. Let me look that up real quick. Sounds super familiar. Magi... Mabinogi. Oh, that one. Okay. I've heard of it. I mean, I saw a lot of MMOs, but I didn't play, like... I didn't play every single one. So I wish I did. All my friends quit. Oh. I don't think any of my friends played MMOs, actually. The only people who play MMOs were... me and, like... legit, I think only one other sibling. I don't even think they played it anymore. I don't think they play MMOs either. Now I think about it. Let's see, where's my... okay. Picture? That's not... okay, compose... Alright. Then attach the picture. Alright. My Fantasy's MMO was pretty limited to outside of Final Fantasy 14. I consider trying Phantasy Star Online too. Phantasy Star Online? Actually, I've seen it. I've seen even Hololive. I mean, I've seen Hololive actually do the sponsorship, do the collab stream, sponsorship, but I don't know much. I don't know anything about Phantasy Star Online too. I think if it's anything like Final Fantasy 14, then there's no need to rush to play it through unless you become a raider. Oh, that's true. If you do become a raider, technically, you would be like super. You have to always be on top of things, basically. I would say same with Maple Story, but I'll be honest, I didn't raid often in Maple Story. I guess it's mostly because I played Maple Story as a kid. So like, I didn't find it a bit awkward to interact with people because I was like, no, I was really young, so I didn't really interact with that much people. Let's see. Add image. There we go. Alright. The picture's gonna, for the game's to come out really large in the beginning. Like it always does. Let's see. There we go. The ingredients. They look like leftover ingredients because they are. Man, the sun was really bright. It shined through the window. But oh well. This video won't see why there's a weird glare in the top left, but there we go. I tried the NGS part of Phantasy Star Online too, but I have a friend who tried rushing through 3 different expansions of Fantasy 14 at once. Oh, jeez. And ended up getting burned out by the last expansion and haven't played it since. Hello, Gabe. We're cooking right now? I was cooking a sort of fancy sandwich, not super fancy. What I mean by fancy just has more ingredients than a normal sandwich, which is usually just tomato, lettuce, cheese, and the meat. For now. Just doing... oh, for now we're finally gonna crack open the eggs and mix the spam this side. I think we do something with whatever we had left over at home. Nothing like too major. Was it because I was really busy? Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna try to close so I can put the cracked eggs inside. Or the eggshells, I guess is a better word to use. Alright. I wonder if the eggshell breaking noises are actually being picked up by this mic or not. Alright. Close that. Or when I was younger, I used to get eggshells in the egg. Not like super often, but you know, like when you're a kid, you don't really control your strength and then you just and you just like let the eggshells fall inside. And then you like struggle to get it out. Alright, let's see. Should we add in next? Guess I'll mix this first. I'll probably add in maybe a fancy egg sandwich with just spam bits inside. Spam diced ham inside? Spam? Spam. Diced spam. Does he feel hungry? Hey! Hello, you two. Saw your chats right now. Alright. Let's mix the eggs. When you guys mix eggs, I always use chopsticks because that's how I grew up mixing eggs. But yeah, one of the few MMOs I played as a kid was MapleStory. I'll be honest, I didn't really play that many. Mostly because I did feel awkward playing MMOs as a kid. Because I was like, everyone is like... Okay, not everyone is a teenager, obviously. But not everyone is online, obviously. But I was like, I'm like the only like kid / teenager here. Like, look, I hate using too many containers and utensils. I try to wash them immediately to be reused or something. True. One thing that did annoy me when I used to live at home was like when like someone cooked. I hate it when sometimes they would like leave like discarded like food waste in the sink sometimes. For example, like my mom has a habit of like when she peels fruit, I guess is one example. She like peels it on top over the sink, which is like, you know, it's fine. But like the problem is she just like leaves it there sometimes for like a few hours until she like does the dishes. And I'm like, well, why would you do that? And when I had to do the dishes, I had to throw them away and I was like, ah. Something like that, you know? Alright. But we got the eggs. I think I got the eggs all mixed up. I know some people also use a fork to mix eggs. Mostly because when they see the egg fall like smoothly through the whatchamacallit, between the whatever the fork parts are called, the top part where you pick things up with it. When eggs fall smoothly between the bowls, now some people use it as like, oh, the egg is like basically really like beaten through. Okay, let's see. Add the spam in. Okay. Let's see. Alright. Bum. Yeah, I am making 2 portions. One for me, one for my roommate. Who's home? Only one of them. The others aren't, so... Yeah. They won't get to try. But, what can they do? Let's see. There we go. It's good enough, I think. I chop the... I'll put the peppers into the mixture, the egg spam mixture. I might just put in. I'm not really sure if I'll put in the tomatoes in the mixture. Maybe just cut them in slices and eat it. Let's see. 2 sandwiches, 2 peppers. Rest of the peppers inside. Cutting board. Okay. Knife. Yes, this before, but I don't have that many cooking stuff. I only have like 2 knives. One small one and one big one. Small one I usually use to cut or peel. I guess peel is better. Peel fruit. Let's see. These peppers actually smell a bit spicy. Peppers are actually smell a bit spicy. Like since they immediately smell the moment I cut the caps off, but I like spicy foods. I'm not the type of person who puts an ungodly amount of sriracha on things. If I don't feel like too judged enough in public. Let's see. Much as I like peppers, I'm not fond of the seeds inside of them. Not because like they're spicy, but they make the food not taste that good texture-wise. They stay inside, especially in soups. All right. Then I hate peppers. I used to really hate a lot of vegetables. Not really hate, but I used to like dislike a lot of the more bitter vegetables as a kid, like broccoli, pepper. What else is really bitter? I always liked carrots as a kid, though. Carrots are really good. Oh, every time I don't know why, but every time I'm reminded of vegetables I ate as a kid, I always remember this one. I went to preschool. I remember this one snack in preschool they would give out as a kid during like snack time, lunchtime. I don't remember. Snack time, I think. Sometimes they would give out this like one snack that I really disliked. I still dislike to this day. I don't think the combination is that good. It's called ants on a log. You got some other people in America probably know what this one is. It's basically where they get a stick of celery, like obviously smaller ones because we're kids, and they put like peanut butter in like the inside, like in the hollow inside. Like they cut the celery in half, obviously, to get two sides, and then they like put in like peanut butter inside the inside of the hollow like area, and they put raisins on it. And I was like, as a kid, I hated this snack like with a burning passion. But like how you couldn't like go out and play until you ate the snack. So I just saying curses inside my mind while I just ate it. I just sat and ate it. But yeah, that's definitely one of the things I really disliked as a kid. I still don't even like it now. I think celery and peanut butter and raisins, I don't think they're a good combination. All three like with other stuff taste good, but why that stuff? I remember I used to hate applesauce actually too, which they also served. I don't hate it now, but back then I did. But yeah, the raisins I was just like, why are you giving me these? I used to hate raisins too, but I like them now. Oatmeal cookies are like really good. I mean, of course, my favorite is my most favorite is probably snickerdoodle. Cookies. It's like basically the cinnamon based cookie. It has it's like this. It's like the cinnamon shortbready-ish cookie, ish. Not really shortbread, but its texture. No, it's not really shortbread, huh? Its texture is like super soft and chewy, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So I guess shortbread is actually not a good comparison. Whoops, but basically a very chewy, cinnamon flavored cookie. But yeah, oh, I really like oatmeal though. Oatmeal's pretty good. That sounds disgusting. Vegetables and not peanut and peanut butter do not mix well. The peanut butter is alright with veggie stuff. Yeah. No, peanut sauce. Peanut sauce. Yeah, peanut sauce is really good. I don't eat peanuts often though. Like, sometimes my parents make spring rolls, and then eating it with peanut sauce is really good. Though we don't put shrimp in it. We just put other meats in it, like there's like beef, basically. Because you know it's cheaper than shrimp. Shrimp is really good. Obviously, guys, shrimp is probably one of my favorite seafoods, but not that. It's like compared to beef, it's pricier. But yes, I recommend spring rolls. It tastes good. Okay, put the peppers in the egg mixture, and now we have this mixed. But yes, it was not a snack I was fond of. Oh, I saw a clip recently of like chocolate mushrooms and like chocolate bamboo shoot snack. I didn't even know the chocolate bamboo snack existed. I think I said this before, but I'm Korean, so I said this a few times on the stream, on stream several times when people ask me, but like I don't think I've ever seen them sell chocolate bamboo shoots or whatever. It's like a bamboo shoot versus chocolate mushroom debate, I guess, in terms of the snack. I've only ever had the chocolate mushroom. It's basically just like this stick. It's like this very small cookie stick that's like not super sweet. There's like very little bit of sweetness to it, but like barely anything because there's like a hunk of chocolate on one end to make it look like, you know, a mushroom. So that's a chocolate mushroom snack. We can look it up, but I kind of like the bamboo shoot version, which I never knew of. That's one of the other snacks I ate as a kid. I ate a lot of Korean snacks as a kid. I think I did said before, but I didn't eat a lot of Western snacks. Unless I went to like school or a friend's house or something. Let's see. Cutting the tomato. Wow, this tomato is super ripe. Good thing I actually decided to cook with it today. All right. Let's see. Just cut into slices, I think, and just put it onto the sandwich. This tomato I actually have is actually from my mom, because I think I said this before, but she likes gardening, even though she's not terribly good at it. And this tomato, she only gave me two. Is one of the fruits of her, one of her fruit of her efforts. The other one is already long eaten. Let's see. I accidentally rubbed my eye. When I had the pepper stuff on my fingers. My eye's burning. My bad. Alright. Okay-ish now. But my eyes sting now. Ow. Alright. And my eyes actually burning. I didn't realize how much there was. That was a rookie cooking mistake. Remember glass? Alright. But yeah. Also, I mostly eat Asian snacks. I only eat Western snacks every once in a while. Not that often. One of my favorites being Lay's. And then one of my siblings being really obsessed with Cheetos. Let's see. Okay, so I'll cut the tomatoes. Do that. Put this over here for now. Alright. I think I'll start cooking the eggs. Let's see. Get that out. Very, very little bit of oil. Not that much. So the egg doesn't stick to the pan. Yeah, some other people use butter, but I don't use butter for cooking. I didn't grow up using butter at all, really. Cheetos, OG flavor, yep. I think I said before, but they're lactose intolerant, so. I mean, I know it's technically made with cheese, but it's like not like, not like super like, that. I think I've said before, but my family's like what else? I mean, my parents don't really like milk that much because they never really grew up eating milk or drinking milk, but let the pan warm up before you put on the egg mixture. I mean, if my favorite flavor of Cheetos, I think I said this. I just said this earlier in the stream that I like spicy food. So obviously, my favorite flavor of Cheetos is the spicy one, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. My favorite flavor for Lay's is actually just the OG flavor. Actually, no. My favorite is probably lightly salted. Actually, I like lightly salted. I know some people say it tastes bland, but I don't think it tastes bland. I think it tastes good. I don't know why that one's my favorite flavor. I don't hate the other flavors. I just like that one the best. Alright, it's that knife in the sink just for now. I'll clean it later. But yeah. See, for Fritos, probably a chili cheese Fritos. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Fritos. They don't taste bad, but they're just not my favorite chips. I think I would pick Doritos over Fritos. My favorite Doritos is probably the green one, the salsa verde, something like that. I don't remember the exact flavor. I don't know flavor. I don't know the exact name. But yeah, probably something like that. Let's see. Should have made my chat a little bit more prettier, huh? I just looking at it now. The chat on the screen. Not the actual like side chat, but not the live chat, but on the actual video screen. I can get the blue one to fit that well onto it. The blue chat I usually use. Let's see. Oh, where's the pan? Pan is getting getting warm. It's pretty soon. I'll put the egg on. Yeah, I'll probably put the mic back up here. Let's see. Nice. I think I said this before, but I didn't really grow up drinking soda. Actually, and I'm probably the only person in my family who doesn't like soda. I don't like it because of the fizziness. Yeah, I know it's the best part, guys. I know it's the best part, but not a fan. Not a fan. Let's see. I'm the type of person who goes to a restaurant who either orders like teas or just gets water. Let's see. Alright, the egg mixture on top. And then for now, I'm probably do the dishes after I cook. You'll probably hear me do that as well. Spread the mixture too, so it can actually spread the ingredients well. Alright. Now doing streams of every Ace Attorney game, right? Yep. I do. Still on the second one. The next stream, hopefully we end it. It's gonna be a real long stream. Might go up to 8 hours. I don't know. I don't know how long the remaining parts are. We basically went up to in the last stream, Phoenix Rise stream. We went but we basically just we went for those of you who don't know, we were finishing up the second game. We were doing parts. We finished the third case actually, and there's only 4 cases, so we did the first 2 investigation parts. If anyone missed it, I mean, it was stream days today. That's because it's the best to get the likes of Dual Destinies and Spirit Justice as quickly as possible. Oh, why? Is it because they're expensive or something? Probably. Let's see. Get the spatula. Spatula. What is this? That's because, like, yeah. I just have to play the entire thing. I don't know if I play the third one. I like to take a break in between the games. So you can play other story games, but let's see. They're digital only, and the 3DS eShop is closing soon. Oh, okay, okay. Alright. Let me move the mic a bit further. Or this the mic can move from now, I think. We can go a little bit further. Move this over here. Alright. Making sure that the egg doesn't break. Alright. Alright. Egg was made successfully-ish. Just waiting for the rest of it to cook up, and I think it's done. Yeah, so when I finished the third case, so for the third case, oh, I forgot. I should have given my thoughts for the third case actually. So for the third case in the second game that we played the other day. No, maybe I shouldn't for spoilers for people in the chat who maybe haven't watched this video yet. I'll just say that. Okay, the only thing I'll just say that. I'll be honest, the first half of the case I wasn't really a fan of. It was a bit of a slog to get through, in that the characters, most of the characters were just hindering us, and we didn't, and then they weren't hindering us in a very meaningful way either, to be honest. And our client was initially like such a huge jerk. I was like, oh, this guy. But like, you know, we had to defend him because he was falsely accused of murder. Obviously, all our clients are obviously falsely accused of murder. In every single case. But I was like, ah. And then by the latter half, it actually started getting pretty good in the latter half. The ending was actually really liked the ending. But yes, it had to have one of the worst first halves of. No, it probably had the worst first half of all the cases we played so far, including the first game. And for the current case, we got up to without going into too much spoiler, in the first case, we basically ended the second investigation part. So, whatchamacallit? So we still don't have Maya. So Maya's still not with us. We still have Pearl as our buddy instead. And we have to. It's basically right before. I think the part where we found out a lot about stuff about like how the manager is all involved and like the characters are actually having. The characters actually have quite the. How do I describe it? They have actually quite a lot of secrets. And Miles came back. I think he was dead, obviously. I was confused why everyone thought I'm so confused on why everyone thought Miles was dead. I mean, yeah, the note he left behind is like. His note that he left behind was like, oh, whatchamacallit again? And the note he left behind was like, oh, I can't. What was it? Something about like him wanting to like. He was felt so disgraced that he wanted to like not like live or something. I don't remember. I don't remember completely. Let's see. Bum bum and bum bum. Alright. Avocado out. Cheese out. I think I'll take pictures of the sandwiches, both sandwiches. One where everything is like put together. The other one where showing all the ingredients as much as possible before I close that one. I think we'll get to be done. Okay, first thing first. Let me. I didn't get the second cutting board actually. And clean that one. First things first. Trash all the stuff. Slide for now. All right. I'll probably give a more in-depth of what I thought of each case probably after tomorrow's. No, not tomorrow's. The next Phoenix Wright Attorney stream. Tomorrow is the Pokemon stream. I don't know. I guess because they both start with a P in their titles accidentally. But yeah, next week's. Yeah, the schedule's actually gonna be dropping on Twitter pretty early. Saturday for the West, and Sunday probably for people who live in the East. Western Eastern Hemisphere. Anyway, let's see. I always hate peeling, not peeling. I always hate taking avocados out. I always get my hands a little bit dirty from it. Okay, getting a smaller knife now. Cut the avocados. Okay. Boom. Boom. Really nicer looking avocados to the roommate on their sandwich. Jan, 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 jan. Avocados taste so good. Never really grew up eating avocados, actually. Till I got way older when my parents started getting them. My parents actually bought an avocado sapling, but it still hasn't even grown. I don't even know how long it's been now since we bought it. I think it's been like 4 years. I know it takes a while for them to grow, but no, it wasn't really a sapling. I don't know. It's a small tree. It's a pretty smallish tree. Would it be a sapling though? Hello. Not too sure, actually. Maybe it is a sapling. Maybe you consider a sapling. Let's see. Lettuce. I'm only gonna take out like. I'm gonna peel off like 1 or 2 layers of the rest of the cabbage. I might just make a soup or something. Alright. Yep. Finishing it up right now. Let's wash the lettuce before we put it on. The other vegetables are already washed, like, from a while ago. Okay. Prettier out looking avocados. Here. Alright. Right there. And this here. Just lettuce on mine. I grow a bunch of herbs in pots. Nice. Maybe I should do that too. I was thinking about it. It's super useful for cooking once a little pot of plants finally get growing, you know? But to be honest, I don't cook with that many spices, mostly because I can afford them, but maybe I should invest in potted plants. I don't know the first thing about growing plants, though, I'll be honest. I think I said this before, even though my parents like to garden. They're not the best gardeners. They try. There was this one really funny moment in my life where, I think it's like you know when you're in elementary school, you basically, what was it again? You basically, I mean, I don't know if they did it in your elementary schools actually, but actually, let me take a picture of the food. And after that, we should be done with the food. Stuff. Here. Okay, let me get not as reflective plates actually. Yep. After this, we can get a picture. After this, I can. There we go. Alright. The picture could look a little bit better, but I need to be in that picture for now. Playing in Japan now, so watching this one has made me hungry. Okay, I think it's pretty much done now. Maybe I should take. Okay, I'll just take another picture of the food close up to see if it will look better that way. Meh. I think it's better the way. I think it's better the way. I'll take a picture of it. All right. So the end product is already out. Hello. All right. Hello. Richard. We're gonna make a little sandwich. Just finished making it. As I said, I mean, it kind of just says with whatever's at home. A lot of leftover-ish foods. One of them namely being the spam from the other day. Okay, let's see. Send this to here. Send both of these and see which one looks best. Alright. Wait, guys, let me call my roommate. I'm gonna mute myself though and give it the food. Alright, I'm back. Should I send the picture to myself? Let's see. I'll make some of the music a little bit louder for you guys. That's not the right one. I'm cooking basically. Alright. Okay, why didn't I send it to myself again? Let me try again. Here. Alright. That should have worked. I can't stand it. I'm gonna eat cup ramen. Cup ramen is really good. My favorite is the Shin Ramyun bowl. Cup ramyun. I mean, I think except if I'm Korean, so Shin Ramyun. It's so much better than Maruchan. Maruchan is a brand in America. I'll be honest, I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's horrible, but there is better, definitely. Okay, this. All right, gonna upload the next picture. Oh, wrong one. Oh, not that. Okay, here we go. Where's the image? Two. Indomie is the best. Indomie is pretty good. I like the stir fry Indomie. Actually. Okay, let me make this smaller. I don't know why the pictures are so freaking huge when we first. The rest of it's the tomatoes. Using the tomatoes my mom sent me. She only gave me 2. So they don't look like normal tomatoes. They're like, I guess it's because they're super organic, but yeah. Yep, this is what I made. I closed one and I showed the other one off with it more open looking. Because we're done, let me change our little table. When we're done cooking, the little table becomes cooking finished. There we go. So anyone who dropped this can now know it's finished. There we go. Yeah, so if anyone hasn't tried Indomie is actually pretty good. For instance, noodles. My favorite, of course, I think I said that earlier, I like spicy food, so my favorite one is the spicy one. Another pretty good instant noodle that's cheap. Oh, I don't think the places around here actually don't sell it anymore. Okay, no, they sell it, but it seems like they sell it only if they have it in stock. But it's Mama Noodles. Those are really good, actually. My favorite one is the shrimp one. But they don't really sell it in this neighborhood, like unless they have it. So like I can go months without Mama Noodles, but they're so good. I recommend Mama Noodles, particularly the shrimp one. The beef one is pretty good too, but I like the shrimp one the best. There's a chicken one and a pork one, I think. But I didn't think they were as good as the beef and the shrimp one, actually. But yes, shrimp one is the best. There's Maruchan. It's an American brand. To be honest, it's really not that good. I mean, I grew up eating cup noodles from Korean cup noodles, so when I first had, underneath the avocado is the whatchamacallit, the lettuce. And then the egg is actually it's actually more of a rolled egg in a way, sort of. It's just like, it's only 2-layer, so it's not like super rolled. But dude, actually those those mini rolled egg omelets are so good. Okay, they're really good. I wonder if I can find a picture of it online. Let's see. Rolled eggs. Yeah, keranmari is what's called in Korean. I'll be honest, I don't know what they're called in other. I think there's called. Yeah, just called rolled omelets. Because the Korean version of them, rolled omelets, they actually put in like vegetables and veggies and stuff. Let's see, what's a good picture? I'll borrow this picture. I'll link the I think I'll link the website in my description. So I don't like rolled omelets. Some of my most favorite ways of eating eggs. I don't cook it often because it does require quite a bit of eggs, and I'd rather just have a fried egg to save on money. But are very mini omelets with just like mix of like a lot of foods, but not a lot of foods with a lot of veggies in it. But let's see. Okay, first things. Oh, it's gonna exit out of the website. Ah, okay. Here. Okay, first things first. I'll change my description to add the source of it, so you guys can also see the recipe of what I'm talking about. Rolled omelet pic/recipe. There we go. Put in the description. I'll put the link in the thing here too, so you guys know what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. The Korean rolled omelet thing. And put a picture of it now on screen as well. So I'll probably put on text that I didn't cook it, but right now, because it's obviously I didn't cook it. But let's see, food 3. Browse. There we go. The picture is always super big. Edit. There we go. Then make it smaller. Oh. Maybe I'll just put it over here actually. Make it a little bit bigger. I'm gonna add some text and say I didn't cook this one. Text. Let's put cooking. I didn't make this rolled egg. And we'll make it. Let's make it. Is it black on here? No, it's white. We'll make it black. So it can contrast against the picture better. Alright. There we go. Maybe we'll actually change that to do this. In the right word is egg rolls? I guess so. Is it? I guess so. But yeah, these are actually the eggs I like to eat the most. But yeah, I don't make it often. Mostly because, you know, it does require a lot of eggs to like constantly roll them. But they do taste very good. I do recommend the recipe that I linked in the chat and in the description. I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what we were talking about before all this. Oh yeah, instant noodles. But yeah, I don't recommend Maruchan. It's an American cup brand. It's really not that good. It's more like I think I get it like once, like every 2 to 3 months, as like more of like a just have it in stock in case it's more like I need to like eat something fast. I don't want to cook, but I need to go somewhere, or like I woke up a little bit late for work, or not a little bit late, so I don't have enough time to make something really quick. I guess that's when I actually do eat Maruchan. I'm not really a fan of eating Maruchan like so early in the morning, so early after waking up, but yep, I think my least favorite Maruchan for people who actually have eaten Maruchan before is the cheese one. I tried it, and it's the only one I never finished. I never got the flavor again. First of all. I think the only flavor of marchon I ever get is only chicken. And like the spicy shrimp. I like spicy stuff. Or if I can know, I guess I recommend those 2 flavors if you want to try marchon, but it's not that good though, in my opinion. But if anyone wants to try it. But yeah, Indomie is really good. I recommend the spicy stir fry. But if you don't like spicy food, you can just get the normal stir fry. But of course, I recommend the spicy stuff. For cup noodles, the actual cup noodles that aren't marchon. My favorite, I think, yeah, my favorite is the Shin bowl noodle. So I do recommend those are Nongshin brands, which are also pretty good. They come in way more flavors, like shrimp, kimchi, beef, normal. I don't know if they have enough flavors other than that, but I don't get them that often because I usually just buy a pack of actual, like, you know, bag ramyun, like Shin bag ramyun. There's also samyang ramyun, which is also pretty good. Marchon bland, it is. That's only the chicken and pork flavors. Yeah, marchon is like kind of blandish too. Its pork flavor is surprisingly good. I haven't had the pork flavor in a super long time. I don't know if I'll get it anytime soon. I still have my very small marchon stock that I replenish every 3 to 4 months. Just in case I accidentally wake up a little bit late to not make anything, and not be able to make anything, but yeah. Let's see. Well, maybe I should lower the mic a bit actually now since we're done cooking to the normal mic levels. Alright. Mic levels are back to normal. Thinking with the mic further away too, but there we go. Let's see. Right now it's okay. It's been an hour since we started shooting. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that took a little bit longer than I thought making this stuff, but I mean, I didn't really have much of a plan in the beginning. Hello. Close that out. Close the stuff. Use each chicken flavor with canned chicken. It's a great way to fill yourself up. Oh, adding meat or like other stuff, adding stuff to ramyun, or not ramyun, but like noodles in general, I guess. Not ramyun. makes it taste always way better. Like, for example, what's a good one? Like adding an egg to ramyun is also good. I'm not saying the cup ones. I mean, you can add egg to cup ramyun though, but I don't know how it cooks well though. I just see people do it. Okay, I don't know how much egg it does get cooked though from doing it, but I have seen people do it. What else is there? Oh, adding green onions. It's also, or scallions. It's also really good too. Okay. This is a Korean thing. I'll be honest, I'm actually not fond of it actually, but it's really big in Korea. But adding cheese to like to ramyun and a lot of other instant noodle type of stuff, or like even other stews like budae-jjigae. I don't know what that translates to in English though. I think it's like army stew or something. The history of budae-jjigae / army stew is that I don't know if you guys know this about Korea. Men are basically have to basically serve around 2-ish years in the military, I think. I don't know how much it is now, but basically budae-jjigae's like history is that when they came together to cook, they would kind of just throw anything in there in a way. Not anything, but they throw like things in there that kind of like eventually became the budae-jjigae, just army stew it is today. I'm new viewer, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. I just eat chicken flavor with can. No, sorry. I worked for a food pantry at a local church, so I always bring in a couple of cans every week or two. Can't you get me? Yeah. I know some people like harp on canned meats, like Spam and stuff. Sorry for bad English. No, it's fine, it's fine. Your English is not that bad. I know some people harp on like canned foods, but not that bad. Like Spam is pretty good, and like other canned meats, and one of my favorite, okay, to be honest, one of my favorite foods, I don't buy the cans that often. To be honest, if I go to my family house, I usually ask if I can just take some of it. But canned tuna, the Korean canned tunas, they're really good actually. They're really, really good, in my opinion. I usually snatch a few and bring it back home. I don't know, bring them back, I mean, if I ever visit home. I like them a lot, like a lot. Tuna sandwiches are super good too, if you do cook tuna sandwiches as well. Well, honestly, thanks for the cook stream. Alright, sleep well. Yeah, so I do recommend canned tuna's pretty good too. And I'll be honest, as I said, I grew up eating a lot of Korean food, so I mean, even American tuna is fine too. What are the brands? I don't remember what the brands are called. The one with the B is pretty good on it. Thanks, you're welcome. I feel happy. Thanks. You're welcome. I forgot. It's the one with the B on it. I don't buy tuna that often, but if I do, sometimes I buy that one. There's another one with like a dolphin thing, like circus tuna or something. I'm not that fond of that one actually. It's super okay. I mean, it's very cheap if you need tuna. I something to know the stream is acting up for a moment. Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying how like adding eggs, scallions, green onion, sometimes cheese is a Korean thing. I'm not a fan of it though. I don't like adding cheese to my noodles. Amber, the first time I ever had cheese in ramen, which is it's just a thing in Korea. Especially if you go to restaurants. And then of course when people make it at home, they also add cheese as well. Not everyone, but a good number of people, like quite a good number of people. Basically, the first time I ever had cheese on ramen is that I think one of my older siblings, I think they wanted to try it. I don't know. I think they saw on the internet. I don't remember. They put it in. To be honest, it was just okay, but I didn't think it was that good. And that was a time when some of my older siblings were obsessed with trying to add like random things. I shouldn't say random. But adding things to ramen that they thought would taste good, like tuna and cheese, tomatoes. What else did they add? Bell peppers instead of normal peppers. When I mean normal peppers, I mean like peppers that are usually used for cooking. Like to flavor the soup, or like not like the actual like. I'm not saying bell peppers can't be used to flavor soup, but you know, it's better. I don't know. The peppers I'm talking about are like maybe like a jalapeno pepper, like a slice of jalapeno, a pepper or two. Like those type of peppers. But yeah. I mean, yeah, they added tuna. Yeah, they added tuna. They added tomatoes. I think my dad still adds tomatoes and bell peppers. Actually, I think he grew. I think he actually likes it. I don't know how often he does it, but I remember him doing it like when I went home like a month or two ago to visit. He made himself ramyun with like tomatoes and bell peppers inside. I don't know why he likes it that way, but I guess he likes it that way. And of course, my mom, she just likes eating ramyun with only egg, and I think scallions inside, specifically scallions or green peppers if we don't have any scallions. But they do spruce up the ramyuns though. So I do suggest like actually adding stuff to your ramyuns if you guys have the ingredients. I'm not a huge fan of tuna. Yeah, I do like tuna, but I do agree that tuna doesn't really go on a lot of stuff. Canned tuna, I'm talking about, not like actual tuna fish, guys. I do like tuna sandwiches. Oh my gosh, one time I had a vegan tuna sandwich though, and that tasted really bad actually. Vegan food can actually taste really freaking good, but that one did not taste good at all. I don't know what it was made. I don't know what it was made of. I tried it because it was like the only. It was at a student store, I think, all the way back when I used to go to college, but I tried it once because I was in a huge rush because I think I woke up pretty late that day. I couldn't even go to the. I don't think I could even go to the cafeteria to get food, or like the main like eating area. So I think I just grabbed whatever at like one of the student stores like that's scattered around the school, and I was like rushing on my way there. I tried it and I was like, ah. I mean, I ate it because I didn't want to waste my money because it was like $4, but like I was like, wow, in the inside. Yeah, I don't recommend vegan tuna unless you guys get it from like a pretty legit place, I guess, like maybe like an actual restaurant or something. Egg sandwiches are really good though. If you guys haven't tried egg salad sandwiches, super good, really good. What else is really good? But yeah, I can only imagine how that tastes. Yeah, I forgot what I remember reading the ingredients, but I guess to see like why it tasted the way it did, but I don't remember them now. But yeah, vegan food tastes pretty good. I had vegan chicken before. That tastes pretty good. Vegan sausage, that tastes pretty good. Vegan ice cream is pretty hit and miss though. I think I said this before, but one of my favorite desserts is ice cream. I don't eat it that often though. I just eat popsicles, which are not that good as actual ice cream, but it passes, I guess. But vegan ice cream is pretty hit and miss. One time I had this like vegan. The first time I ever had vegan ice cream was actually a pretty bad one. It was this like matcha one, but like I guess I didn't really research it or look it up. I just grabbed it because it was like on this huge sale. And I really want to try it. So when I opened it, I was like, oh, it's like all brown and stuff, but like it looks, I don't know, like vegan food, like, you know, still tastes good, you know? And I ate it and I was like, wow. I don't think I actually finished. I think I ate half of it and I gave up. Didn't really taste like matcha at all. It just tasted like nuts. Like it tastes like a nut puree or something that was like added with some more added stuff into it to make it tasted more like scooping up like a filling of like maybe like a cookie filling, you know, or like a Newton filling. You guys know what Newtons are? Fig Newtons. I thought I was eating that, like the inside of it, but like not as good as a Fig Newton. Actually, I like Fig Newtons, by the way, guys. But I don't eat them often. They're pretty expensive actually nowadays. But depends. Yeah, it tasted like that, but like not as good. So I was like, ah. But like other vegan ice cream actually tastes pretty good. But yeah. What are you making? I already made it. It was just a sandwich. The picture of the rolled egg, it's actually, the recipe for it is in the comments. It's something that I make if I feel like I want to use a lot of eggs in one sitting. Because it does take a lot of eggs to make it. Rolled eggs. That's the Korean version, where they add in like vegetables in it. There's a Japanese version where it's usually plain. Sometimes they add stuff in it. I do know that one of the most popular variations of rolled eggs in Japan is adding unagi inside of it. This is like the standard Korean one. I didn't make it because I didn't have enough eggs in the first place. I didn't have any carrots, which I like to add inside of it, to be honest. I really like to add carrots in there. It actually tastes really good if you do add carrots and green onions inside as well. I mean, it depends on what you want to put inside. You don't have to put in the ingredients that are actually inside the recipe, but I can add your own stuff. But yeah, it's what I make. Sometimes, I shouldn't say once in a blue moon. That means like almost never, but maybe like once every 2-ish months. It depends. I mean, the first time I tried it, I actually just tried it from a Korean store, like the Korean, like you know, like hot, you know, like in the hot food sections. Korean stores have like a side dish section and a hot food section and some other sections. That's the first time I tried rolled egg. And then it tastes really freaking good, guys. It tasted really good, even though it was just a store-bought version of it. And then I was like, Mom, can you please make it? And then like, of course she made it. And my mom was happy with the fact that a lot of us ate our vegetables by making the rolled omelets, making the rolled egg omelets. So she made it pretty often when we were younger. Not as much when we got older, obviously, but as you know, we actually eat our vegetables. Yeah. To be honest, one of the vegetables I still do struggle to eat a little bit to this day is probably like vegetables similar to pumpkin and squash. Not that it's more like I still can't eat it by itself yet. I usually eat it with like instead of like meat stir fry dish or like a stew or soups. Still haven't been able to eat it by itself yet. I love cheese. Cheese is really, really good, but I really didn't eat it as much when I was growing up because I said earlier in the stream, but a lot of my siblings are actually lactose intolerant. So we would also get ice cream that didn't have much dairy in it too. I mean, it had like a little bit, but like not a lot. Like red bean ice cream, for example, like it's called PB Big. It's a Korean brand. I don't know what. I don't know a lot of. For American brand ice cream, I didn't eat that all. I didn't eat much American brand ice cream. The only one I ever really ate is, like those like pops. There's those generic popsicle ones like drumsticks and stuff. When I was really, really young. What else is there? And Baskin Robbins. Those are the only American brands I ever really ate, actually. I didn't really try a lot of brands until I actually like left to college for American brands. I ate a lot of Korean ice cream, like Melona, PB Big. There's this coffee one. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of coffee. Actually, I drink tea to wake up. But yeah, cheese is really good, guys. Actually, I really like cheese. I usually put cheese in if I can, like a sandwich. That's like craft spices, so nothing too fancy, but you know, what can you do? But yeah, I don't like putting cheese in ramen. That's just whatever to me. What about string cheese? Okay, the few times I had string cheese, I haven't had string cheese in like forever, actually. The last time I remember eating string cheese was in elementary school. It's like a snack thing. I think a friend gave it to me. Like they offered me one because they didn't want to eat it. I don't really eat. I didn't really eat a lot of stuff. I didn't really eat a lot of cheese growing up. The most dairy I ate was milk and cereal, but my mom was like, no. I mentioned this before, because I got COVID because of her work. My mom's a nurse. I mentioned this in the Twitter post, I think, when I actually did get COVID. My mom is like, you know, cares about health to a certain extent. No, she's not like super like strict about it. But my mom was like, dairy is like actually pretty bad for you. Not dairy. Sorry, no, it's not dairy. Cereal. Sorry, it was cereal. My mom was like, cereal's actually really bad. So like we'd stop getting cereal. I think when I was around almost middle school, but not like actually middle school yet. Somewhere around there. And she would only buy cereal if like we were like, please buy cereal, please. We haven't had it in like months. That's when she would buy milk. So that's when we stopped eating milk, actually. Drinking milk really regularly, actually. Yeah, I didn't really drink. We didn't really buy milk anymore after that either. Cereal's pretty insane. Yeah, unless you buy like Special K. Special K, I think. It's one of the few, I think, American brands that are actually like healthy-ish. American cereal is actually really pretty. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not American, not just American cereal, but cereal is pretty bad for you. We'll still be here after an hour or so. Yeah, I'll be here after an hour or so. You hear your voice in stories even if it's just for a bit. Good night. Alright, good night, pets. But yeah, if you want us to be like, please, mom, cereal. And then she'd be like, why are you buying this cereal? It is like, this one's really bad for you. And then, so the cereal we usually would buy, I mean, we had no, okay, if we wanted cereal after that, we couldn't actually really choose what cereal we wanted anymore. My mom would only buy 2 cereal. The shredded wheat one in those like squares, you know, that one? I don't know what they're called. The square shredded wheat ones where they have like the frosting on one side. I don't know what they're called. I haven't had it in so long. I don't even remember what it's called anymore. And honey bunches? I don't know if that's the actual cereal name. Let me look it up actually. Let me look them up. Honey bunches? Yeah, honey bunches of oats. It was one. Yeah, it's this one. And it's called just shredded wheat cereal. I don't even know what the brand is called. I just see like a generic brand. I don't see the brand we actually got. The logo had like the little surfing dudes on it. I don't know if my memory is just being weird or if it's actually that one. Oh, frosted mini weeds. Wow, I can't believe I forgot the name of it. It's frosted mini wheats. Yeah, my mom would only let us get frosted mini wheats. And hello. My mom would only let us eat frosted mini wheats and honey bunches of oats if we wanted cereal after she was like, no more cereal in this house because it's so bad for you. Which made me sad because I really liked Cocoa Puffs a lot. I really liked Cocoa Puffs as a kid. I actually did not like Kellogg's cereal that much. I didn't hate it. But I like chocolate. So of course I would like Cocoa Puffs. Before you ask me, the way I eat cereal is that I actually just have a cup of milk separately and I drink it while I'm eating cereal. Because I don't like it when cereal gets mushy. Actually, in a bowl of milk. That's how I usually eat my cereal. If anyone wants to ask how I eat my cereal. And yes, I do put the cereal first and then the milk after. The bowl, when I used to eat it that way. But yeah, now I just put in a separate milk cup. No. Because I just don't like mushy cereal. I don't like mushy foods in general, to be honest. Okay, this is okay. Every time I got sick, I actually really hated getting sick as a kid because, in Korean culture, it's common to eat, whatchamacallit? It's common to eat, porridge, rice porridge specifically. But I actually don't like rice porridge. I still don't like it to this day, actually. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of mushy foods. But even though I like tolerate applesauce now, I'd rather just have an actual apple than eat applesauce. For example, oatmeal is okay-ish. I didn't grow up eating oatmeal, so it's still a bit of a weird food for me to eat, actually. In the mornings I would eat my normal mornings would just basically be eating toast with jam or whatever else on it. Or it would just be rice and a small fried egg with some Korean side dishes, maybe spicy radishes, kimchi, stuff like that. I would get cornflakes and add sugar to create frosting flakes. that I remember I used to be really obsessed with cereal. I'm not obsessed with cereal now. I don't actually eat cereal that often, actually. Because I just never got into the habit of eating cereal. Times were dire. And what was it again? Yeah. If I eat cereal now, to be honest, I usually eat it as a snack. I just get like a very small. I have like pretty big mini bowls. I usually put a little bit of cereal into it and just eat it as a snack at my like while I'm like, at my like laptop or whatever, or doing something else or reading. I don't really like eat cereal as a meal anymore. It makes the cereal last longer though, technically, because I'm not really eating it as a meal. Yeah, but that's how I usually eat cereal nowadays. For milk, I'll be honest, I still don't really drink milk often anymore. I'm just not really in the habit of eating that much dairy, other than like other than ice cream sometimes, other than ice cream and like some cheese. Like I don't cook that much foods with dairy in it too, or butter, because I don't really have butter stocked in the fridge actually even now. I only buy butter if I'm like specifically making a meal with like that has butter in it. Like maybe macaroni or something. I don't really like. I don't go out of my way to buy butter. I think the only time my family ever used butter when I was a kid. They don't even use butter anymore. Actually, was when they used to like when they cook steaks. People like to use butter. My parents just basically just start grilling it outside. So when they get steak. They don't eat steak that regularly, but when they decide to eat it. What was it again? Yeah, when they decide to eat it. So I don't think I don't eat it that regularly. Maybe I'll make the desktop audio very. Okay. Ever tried Cookie Crisps? Those were the perfect snacks without milk. Cookie Crisps? What is that? Okay, let me look it up really quick. I probably know what it is, but I don't remember it. Oh, Cookie Crisps. I legit only had this like 3 times, I think. 3 or 4 times in my life. Before the huge cereal ban. Actually, for this one, my mother really hated buying this one, even before she did the huge cereal ban. Actually. My mother hated this one. What's the other one that my mother disliked buying? I think she hated buying rice. Not rice. What was it? The one with the Flintstones on it. I don't remember what they're called. As I said, I haven't had cereal in a long time. I don't eat cereal regularly. Cocoa Pebbles. Yeah, Cocoa Pebbles. I like getting all the chocolate ones as a kid. Or try Cookie Crisps. Yeah, they're cookies. Yeah, okay, to be honest, I didn't eat cookies much growing up either. Like chocolate chip cookies and stuff. So like I told you, I think I told you, like my parents would only really buy Korean snacks. They didn't really buy many American snacks. Mostly because they didn't really go to the only American store I think they still go to this day is Costco. They legit don't really go anywhere else. The only time they ever go to an American store is if they didn't make a really, really quick run to the grocery store because like they forgot to buy something at the Korean one. Other than that, they don't really. I didn't really grow up eating that many Western stuff. I said this before. My parents are pretty old-fashioned. I grew up old-fashioned too, so I don't know much. For example, I didn't get high-speed internet until I was like 10-ish or 11, somewhere around 10. I don't know exactly when. I didn't even get a smartphone until I was literally a senior in high school. So, yeah. I didn't actually even own my own laptop until junior year, I think. Junior or either sophomore year of high school. And even then, that one was a hand-me-down. It wasn't like my own. I didn't get my own laptop until I actually went to college. Yeah, I grew kind of old-fashioned. I grew up old-fashioned to the point where I actually have used floppy disks before, even though I'm in my like early 20s. Until I switched to the flash drive. I didn't switch to flash drive until I think I was like 10 too. I grew up pretty old-fashioned, guys. And I still have a VHS. at my family home, we have a VHS tape player, actually. We don't have a DVD player. So I did watch a lot of VHS tapes back then. I never watched DVD stuff. I didn't watch like streaming stuff or YouTube regularly until like way later. I was having a phone until teenagers is probably good. Maybe specifically like a smartphone, probably. To be honest, when I see kids online on social media, specifically, not like on YouTube, it's like whatever, because you can remain kind of anonymous on YouTube as long as you don't like give away too much of your own information. But when I see kids on like actual social media, like Twitter and stuff, it makes me a bit worried when I see kids like really young. I'll be honest. So I'm just like, because I feel like they give away too much stuff. In all honesty. I mean, as long as they're smart enough, I guess they should. I guess as long as they don't give away too much information, I think that's fine. These days, at least. But yeah, it's the only thing I really worry about when I see social media these days. Because like, even when I was a kid, I think super early into the stream, like literally the first like 30 minutes, we were talking about like some MMOs games, like how I used to play MapleStory. Like, okay, yeah, to be honest, I didn't interact with much people on MapleStory because I knew how young I was and it'd be a bit awkward, and everything. You know, it'd be pretty freaking awkward. But, even when I was making anonymous accounts on like, I wouldn't say Facebook. I think I'd said this before, but I barely used social media actually, even when I was younger, because I was never really into it. But I only had social media just for my friends. I never really used it for anything. I never really connected with any other people. But when I was like on YouTube, when I was like 12 or like whatever, and like, you know, you need that to make an account or whatever. I never said what my actual age was like at all in any of my accounts. Basically, I never said what my real age was because I'm like, I'm not gonna like say how old I am. Stuff like that is what I'm trying to say. Or some people are like, I'm like 12 and I shouldn't be watching this video, and I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't, because you're not. I mean, you know, I know like, actually, I don't think 12-year-olds should be on YouTube Kids. That's too young for them. But like when they say stuff like that on the actual YouTube, I'm like, I get worried for them, you know? Like, you shouldn't say that kind of stuff. It's like really personal. Yeah, when I was young, besides business or school stuff, the other social media remained ominous /info /private. I was a Club Penguins kid. I never went on Club Penguins actually. I kind of I think I said this before, but actually, I just said this actually a minute or two ago. But I didn't grow up with high-speed internet until I was like 10ish. I don't remember the age anymore at this point. I ever see the day Belle mentioned VHS tapes. Yep, I have VHS tapes at home, and video, and like the home videos. You know, like some Disney movies, some non-Disney movies. Oh my god, this one movie I hate that we own at my family's house is Flubber. Hate that movie, but like, I don't know why, but my parents thought we liked the movie, but I hate that movie. So like, my parents would like put Flubber in, and I'd be like, why did you turn on Flubber? I don't like this one at all. Hiya, how are you? Hello, Gonzalo. Club Penguin was killed. That's true. When I heard Club Penguin, the only time I ever saw Club Penguin actually, oh Rhombus, the only time I ever saw Club Penguin as a kid was one of the friends I used to go over pretty often to their house. They moved away, and then we moved away later from the same place. So anyway, but I used to go to their house like really often. And they had, and then we basically that was the first time I actually saw Disney Channel, by the way. I didn't grow up with Disney Channel, by the way. The only time I ever watched Disney Channel was like the 2 years I was friends with that person. Because as I said, they moved away. And then we moved away like another year or two later from the same neighborhood. We moved away from that place too. That was the only time I ever had high-speed internet. Technically, because they had high-speed internet, and we didn't really watch Disney Channel that much there though. We'd only watch like the last like 15 minutes or like 5 minutes of a show. But yeah, I'm just cooking time tea. Yep, if you guys are hungry, you guys should definitely eat right now. But yeah, so I didn't grow up with Hannah Montana. I think that's what the show is called. Or the only other one I ever remember seeing on that person's TV was like Wizards of Waverly Place, like the one with the magic family, the one with the girl and she has like a younger brother and an older brother. Selena Gomez, yeah, Selena Gomez was the main character of that show, I think, right? Making Dino Nuggets. I love Dino Nuggets. It's one of the very few American foods my parents would buy me as a lunch food. But then my mom stopped buying me that anyway when I grew up. And she just packed sandwiches. I mean, I like sandwiches though. I never got tired of sandwiches. But yeah. So one of the VHS tapes movies my parents got was Flubber. I hated that movie. But my parents would turn it on like quite frequently because like sometimes they'd be like, "Oh, you watch all these other movies, but you didn't watch this movie. So it's time for you guys to watch this movie again." And I'm like, "No, Mom, why?" Like, "Mom, Dad, why? I hate this movie. There's a reason." Me and all my siblings didn't like the Flubber movie, so all of us were like, "Why? Why are you turning this on? There's a reason we're not watching it." If you guys don't know what Flubber is, Flubber is a movie about this scientist guy who I think he's basically, I wouldn't say he's down on his life, but he kind of feels like kind of unfulfilled in his life because his research isn't really producing results. There's this woman he likes, but he's not too sure if she likes him. He's kind of belittled by this other guy who's kind of successful in a way. I believe they work in the same field. It's been a while since I told you I don't really watch Flubber, so it's been a really long time since I watched this movie. It's not that the main character is like bad or anything, because like he actually had created a lot of other stuff, like an AI robot that like hovers around and stuff. So it's not like he's like a complete failure or whatever. I think it was just this one research that he was trying to like complete or whatever. And then after this huge experiment, he creates Flubber, which is like this sentient little like slime blob thingy mabob that's like green or whatever. If I remember, I think that's the color. It's like all the problems that kind of arise of him making this life form, and like the arrogant guy who is mean to him becomes an antagonist because he like wants to take the thing away from him and like say it's his, I think, or something. And then there's like romance in it. I wasn't a fan of the movie. I believe the main lead role is played by, let me just look it up to make sure. I haven't watched the movie in so long. Yeah, Robin Williams is the main character though. Robin Williams is pretty good. It's a pretty good actor. Yeah, Robin Williams is the main character of it though. So if you guys want to watch it, because it's still a Robin Williams movie, I guess. But I wasn't a fan of it though. But it's a pretty good movie though. In like, okay, I want to say the acting is, when I mean pretty good, I mean it's pretty good for its time, I guess. It's a pretty old movie, guys. It's like it's a 1900s movie, if I remember correctly. I don't remember when in the 1900s, but oh, this other movie that we own back at home, but I actually dislike a lot. I don't hate it, but I don't hate it as much as Flubber, but I never really liked it either. Was Pixar's Ants? Is that what it is? Is it Pixar? The more friendly looking one. Pixar Ants. Yeah, no, A Bug's Life. A Bug's Life is what it's called. I'm not a fan of that one either. I don't hate it, but I hate the liar reveal thing in the ending. To be honest, I'm not a fan of the liar reveal stories, so I didn't really like that one either. My parents like were like, "Oh, you guys started watching this movie often. Let's put it on more." And I was like, "No." My parents were always like that. They're like, "Oh, you're not watching this movie? You're not watching this movie lately. That means you haven't watched it in a while. So you guys should watch it." And I'm like, "No, Mom, please stop." But like, you know, she just does it anyway, and I'm like, We had a lot of the weird Disney at-home sequels too, actually. One of them was The Lion King. We have 2 Lion King sequels, actually. Lion King 1.5 and Lion King... Was it in Lion King 2? The one with the daughter all grown up and she like likes this guy from another lion pack. Simba's daughter, I mean, with Nala. I remember that. Okay, the funny part is that we didn't actually own the original Lion King though, so we only own the 2 sequels. We should keep watching over the same movies like over and over again. Maybe they just want to change the pace. Probably. They probably hated listening to the same movies over and over again. Any Airbud fans? Airbud was so cute. I love the dog because he's so cute. I mean, yes, the movie's actually pretty good too, in a very emotional, touching way. But yes, the dog is the highlight. So cute, guys. So cute. It's a bit corny, obviously, because, you know, it's a kid's movie, but I liked it. It was cute. It was so cute. Anyway, watched every movie on a SpongeBob TV. But yeah, Lion King 1.5. Okay, Lion King 1.5 was just super okay. I didn't think it was like as bad as people were saying it was. I know the reason why some people wouldn't like it. It's basically a recap of the entire first movie, but in Timon and Pumbaa's point of view. The only part being different is the entire beginning before they meet Simba, like how the two of them actually met and stuff. That's why I didn't think it was like as bad as what some other people said, but it wasn't like horrible either. Lion King 2 was just super okay too. It actually had more of a story, in my opinion, than some of the other Disney sequel movies. I had the Little Mermaid. I remember we also owned the Little Mermaid 2. The one with Ariel's daughter was I just realized they're all daughters, huh? The one with Ariel's daughter was Sebastian? No. Eric. God, I'm so bad at names, guys. I think this is in an earlier stream. I'm really bad at names, but yes, with Eric. To be honest, the only reason why the movie was just super okay. I never thought it was as bad as what other people were saying. The part I didn't like about it is that I didn't like how it was a rehash of the same plot of the first movie, obviously the Little Mermaid, except it's that she just wants to be a mermaid instead of like being on land. The daughter, I mean. But I didn't really like how it was basically a rehash of the movie all over again. With the exact same villain. She's just Ursula's younger sister. There's like, not really any of a difference in the plot. But it was okay-ish. But yeah. The Harry Potter movies. I really like Harry Potter movies, actually. I actually never read the book series for Harry Potter, even though I like reading. I don't know why I never touched it. I didn't read it until like right before the 7th movie was going to come out. The 7th movie part 1 was going to come out. That was when I finally actually sat down and read the books. Right before, because me and my friends were actually gonna go watch. It was the first time I went. Me and my friends were actually gonna watch the movie. Together at midnight. I don't remember how old we were when it came out. I think we were in middle. I think I was in middle school. I don't remember, but I think I was in middle school. Yeah, that was the first time I read the books. The books are actually not like that bad either, in my opinion. They're pretty good. But yeah, the movies are pretty. I like the Harry Potter movies. Wait, I only own the first movie though. I think I just watched the other 2 movies on TV. There's that one channel that aired the Harry Potter movies. I don't remember which one. Was it like ABC Family or something? I don't remember. Something like that. One of those. The stuff I grew up with though was basically Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. I did not grow up with Disney Channel. I don't know why. I don't know what service provider we had. But they didn't have Disney in it, so I did not grow up watching Disney Channel. Yeah, but I grew up with Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon instead. Gosh, one of my favorite shows as a kid was Avatar: The Last Airbender. It was so cool. As a kid, I was like, this is like the greatest. As a kid, I was like, it's like legit the greatest thing ever. Oh, this one show that, to be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I still remember it pretty clear. I still remember a lot of it to this day is Chowder. I don't know if you guys know. It's a Cartoon Network show. So it's a bit weird, but it's a show with this little rabbit, like raccoon thing called Chowder. It's cute. Yes, Chowder. Yeah. Like I didn't hate it at all. It's more like I thought the episodes were okay. I actually did watch a lot of the episodes. I didn't watch the episodes when they came on, but I wouldn't say it was my favorite show. But I still remember it a lot to this day. For Chowder, the girl that liked him called Panini. There was this kid who didn't like Chowder, who was this green mouse thing. I don't remember his name. I remember he was such a jerk, but it was kind of funny. But yeah, one of the episodes of there I remember the most is this one episode where Mungbean, who's I think that was the mentor's name, China's mentor. It's a cooking. It's basically a cooking show with like weird foods, basic that exist in their world. Basically, that's basically what the show is kind of about. But it can get really freaking weird. He had a cooking assistant called Schnitzel. One of the episodes I remember the most is basically when Schnitzel and Chowder had to go to a bank. And then Chowder like creates all these problems, and Schnitzel literally looks like he's like literally just wants to die. And then they're literally waiting in line for such a long time because every time Chowder causes trouble, they lose their place in line and they go all the way back to the back. They go all the way back to the end of the line. And then the problem is the line is already really, really long to begin with. Rada, yeah. Since the characters, the Schnitzel character only said Rada. he didn't say any other line. But yeah, it's been a really long time since I watched that show though, so I don't remember everything. But it's one of the shows I do remember. Oh, there's also Flapjack on Cartoon Network. I don't know if you guys know what that show. The show where everything is pretty like the color palette is like super dark and greens, blues. It's about this little guy who wants to become a pirate. Flapjack scared me. Yeah, Flapjack has like really scary moments in it actually. Kind of like the latest SpongeBob episodes. Oh my gosh, I remember when I was a kid, when I was like watching the latest SpongeBob seasons as they were coming out when I was a kid, I was like so freaked out by some of them. So I was like, it's like something so disgusting. I was like, ew. Like there's that one dog flip was cool though, true. There's this one like SpongeBob episode, I still remember it. Like the Squidward is like not renovating. I don't remember if he was renovating his house or if he was like rearranging the furniture. I can't remember which of the two it was, but how SpongeBob comes in and starts causing trouble or whatever, you know, of course, like SpongeBob does, like in SpongeBob SquarePants. And then one part where he like, or Squidward like gets the furniture on his like stuck on his foot and like it like rips out his toenail. I remember that part. I was like, ew, what the heck? What is this really SpongeBob? And then like there's this one other part where I think it was a SpongeBob special. And I think it's the one where he loses his memories or something. It's such a long time since I've watched SpongeBob. But like how he approaches this one guy and he's like, oh, how do I look like? And it's this super like gross like SpongeBob like looking like this huge like dirty like he looks like sick and stuff. I was like, ew, like what the heck? That was an era where the animators, I don't know, wanted to do gross humor for some reason. I just was the Sponge episode. Oh, also the Sponge episode. Oh my god, like that one was like disgusting too, because basically SpongeBob getting a splinter and how I forgot why, but he's so paranoid. I forgot what made him paranoid, but I was so paranoid about taking it out or something that I think it was first that he struggled to take it out, but then later he got paranoid about it or something, and he like let it fester and grow. It was disgusting because it's like pus and stuff. I was like, why is like all this gross stuff in SpongeBob? I was like so shocked as a kid, to be honest. It traumatized me. But dude, I do believe the earliest SpongeBob episodes are still some of the funnier ones. One of my favorite episodes. Okay, this one is not a funny episode, but one of the ones I still remember the most, the Pre-Patties episode. A lot of weird imagery in SpongeBob, yeah, in the later seasons. But yeah, Pre-Patty was one of my favorite episodes. It's not a funny one, I would say, but still, I don't know why, but it's been memorable. Oh, my favorite episode is the Kevin one, the jellyfish hunters one, where they're like trying to catch the huge king or queen jellyfish. It's been so long since I watched SpongeBob, and then Kevin, and like he has like the little like sardine fans. I think they're sardines, whatever they are, and they're just like me. And then yeah, I like a lot of the earlier ones that came out. Like Avatar: Last Airbender was really freaking cool. I remember being so hyped up as a kid. But yeah, I didn't get into anime though until I watched Naruto for the first time. I did watch Sailor Moon and Pokemon and Digimon. But like I never got into I didn't get to anime until I watched Naruto for the first time. Because you know Naruto aired was one of the first anime that ever aired. What was it again? I think I already told the story of how I got into Naruto actually. A few streams ago. I think it was actually I think it was literally the stream on Tuesday. But Tuesday for me, but maybe it might be Wednesday for some of you guys who live in the other side of the world, but I got a very long story. I got to Naruto because I went to my family took us to a family friend's house. The guy kids there, or the sons there, I guess, or several sons of other people were there. They were huddled around a computer. And I was like, "Oh, what are you guys watching?" And then I saw a little bit of it. And I'm like, no, you should be watching this because they're watching this opposite arc of Naruto, and there was like fighting and all of stuff and blood and stuff. But I wasn't freaking out or anything. I was watching it silently and okay, you can stay. That's how I got into Naruto and anime in general. Digimon was my entry point. I love Digimon. I watched Digimon up to Frontier. I don't think Data Squad came here until like I think Data Squad is the 5th one. I never watched Data Squad though, I'll be honest. I don't think Data Squad came here until like years after Frontier, so I didn't like watch Data Squad. Yeah, I watched up to Frontier. I like Digimon though. I've been trying to watch the newest one, which is Ghost Game. It was hard to catch though. I've just been binging it every now and then. I haven't binged in a while though. But yeah. And Pokemon, I watched up to the Diamond and Pearl one. I remember, I think Gen 5 literally just started the last time I started watching. Like when I stopped watching TV. And then Sailor Moon. I watched Sailor Moon on and off. Whenever it was on TV, I watched it of course. To be honest, as a kid, I never realized they were actually aren't they like middle school? Are they even high? Are they high school or are they middle schoolers? I don't know. Wait. Sailor Moon age. What was the main character? I don't remember. Accidentally minimized my screen. Sailor Moon characters. Let's see. And she's 14. To be honest, when I was young, I thought all this. I legit thought all the Sailor Moon characters were like 16 and up, or like, for example, I thought like is it Neptune and Uranus? The two girls were actually a couple in Japan, but in here they're not a couple. I don't think. I thought they were adults actually. I thought they were 18. The familiar Zero at 12 changed me. Oh yes, the cousins. Yeah, they're cousins in the West, I think, but they're actually a couple that are not cousins. They're not related. They don't have familiar relations in JP. But I really thought that they were 18. I thought the rest of the girls were like 16. I don't know why as a kid, but I never realized they were 14 as a kid. Because like as a kid, I was like, how is Tuxedo Mask and all these other characters like so young? When I found out when I was older, they're 14. Someone was 14. I was like, what? Yep. But yeah, I didn't grow up with Disney at all, so I can't relate to any Disney stuff except for the movies. Oh, I remember. I don't know why, but sometimes I used to go to movie theaters a lot as a kid because I like going to the movies. One of the movies, I don't know why my parents did this, but one of the movies I watched 4 times in a row there at the movie theaters was like, I would watch it like once a week, basically, like once every Sunday, I guess. It was like Meet the Robinsons. I like Meet the Robinsons though. I actually do like the movie, even though the middle dragged on a bit. I don't know why we watched that one 4 times in a row. That was weird. Juno Tsukaima had the memories of Ryakumiya. Oh my god, for Zero to okay, I'll be honest, for Zero no Tsukaima, I never watched past the first season. I know I really should watch past the first season. I also want to pick up the light novels too, because it's one of the first really popular anime, I guess, in a way. It's technically one of the first isekais too, before isekai actually became a thing in the anime medium. But yeah, I watched Meet Robinsons a lot. It's actually one of my, to be honest, I like the beginning and the ending, but I'll be honest, I don't really like the middle. Okay, there are funny jokes in the middle, but what I mean is that the plot in the middle, like, really drags a lot. Not all the jokes are like a hit, but the ones that do are pretty funny, like the T-Rex. But yeah, if I'm reading the Robinson movie, I do recommend people to at least try it once. And yes, the middle does drag a bit, but the beginning and the ending are really, really good in my opinion. Meet the Robinsons is basically a movie about this kid who's basically an orphan, and how he really wants to get adopted, but his genius kind of like turns them away because even though he can make all these inventions, there's usually like something faulty with them. Because I mean, it's partially because, you know, he's just a kid, but like and also an orphan, and he's making do with what he can like make. But it's basically it's how he kind of wants someone to accept him the way he is, and he kind of feels like really abandoned by his parents, or either his mom or his dad, whoever left him behind, whether it's one of them or both. And then one day he makes this machine that basically shows people's memories, past memories. But how this is ominous. I shouldn't say ominous, but this villain comes out of nowhere, and without anyone noticing, without even the maker noticing, he basically snatches the machine and also like ruins the experiment before snatching the machine. So it's very heavy past that yes, the machine actually does work compared to his past inventions, but then for some reason this guy didn't want him to think it worked and took it. So the main character is like super discouraged, but then this kid comes out of nowhere who claims to be his son from the future, basically comes and meets him, and then they go on this adventure in the future, in his son's timeline. They don't actually hop timelines, but yeah, that's all I really want to say about it. I actually really like that movie a lot. I don't really watch it. I wouldn't say I really watch it super often, but if I feel like it, I sometimes I want to watch it. And the movie is similar to Monsters vs. Aliens. Oh, Monsters vs. Aliens. To be honest, Monsters vs. Aliens, I didn't really like the middle too. It's that type of movie where I like the beginning and the ending. Monsters vs. Aliens is actually, I wouldn't say it's an amazing movie. Like, it's not amazing. Like, it's like more similar to Meet the Robinsons, where I like parts of the movie, but there's also parts of it I don't like. But overall, I like it. Talking about all these childhood things I watched, or movies I grew up watching. But yeah. Oh, this one movie that I watched regularly though was Sky High. You guys probably know this movie. It's like a Disney movie, live action Disney movie classic, I guess. Oh, ooh, Funny Blue Bob was all I needed as a kid. However, Sky High was one. You guys know what Sky High is? It's a live action Disney movie. To be honest, it's not that good, but I don't know why I watched it so much as a kid. I watched it a lot as a kid for some reason. I guess it's more has a place in some people's hearts, I guess. But Sky High is a movie about basically this kid who has two really famous superhero parents, and he's worried because his powers still haven't really manifested, even though he's like a teenager, and he's like being sent to superhero school, and he's like freaking out. He's like, oh, I don't, my powers aren't showing. Like, what the heck, guys? What the heck, you two? To his parents, but he goes, and of course he unlocks his powers, and of course he makes friends, deals with being popular, yada yada yada. The plot at the ending was weird. I won't lie. I actually wasn't really a fan of the villain plot. I thought it was freaking weird. But it was an okay-ish movie as a kid. I don't know why I watched it all as a kid though. Oh, one of the movies I really like to watch was like the Scooby-Doo movie. The one where all the villains come back. Not the one with the island one. I hated that actually. I actually hated that one a lot as a kid. But yeah, the one I liked, the live action Scooby-Doo movies, I really liked the one with all the villains coming back. That one was so cool. As a kid, I was like, yes, I grew up watching Scooby-Doo. That one was so cool. I was like, this is like one of the best movies ever. With all, you see live action of all like these past villains actually becoming actual monsters instead of like the people behind the mask. So like, I don't remember how, it's just so long since we watched it. I haven't even watched it in so long, but like how like this guy, I forgot who it was, but I think this guy or this girl, I don't know who the villain was, but they basically create this machine that basically like legit created like actual monsters of like all their past cases, basically like also some of the infamous Mystery Inc. cases into life. So it's not actually people behind masks, basically. And like the whole movie is them trying to like it's more of a like it's weirdly more of an action movie in the latter half of them trying to stop all the monsters or whatever, and like shut the machine down. But like it was so cool. I liked that as a kid. I hated the island one though. The island one is the weird one where the gang splits up, and then they get recruited back onto the island. I don't remember what the island is called, guys. It's been way too long. But they get attacked by those weird like skin creature things, and then there's this huge conspiracy of the island staff and the tourists and the skin creature thingies and the villain. Okay, I don't recommend watching this movie, so I'm just gonna spoil the ending. The villain is actually Scrappy Doo. I don't even remember why he was the villain. It's been so long since I watched this movie. As a kid, the live action Scooby-Doo movies always scared me. I don't know why. I guess because it's the weird cartoony live action, the cartoonies mixed with the live action CG. No, that's not the cartoony CG mixed with live action. Probably did scare kids. I want Scooby-Doo go through so much animation changes. True. I don't even know if Scooby-Doo is actually going on right now, actually. But I did see a lot of the different arts changes. OMG, the super bad CGI monster scared me. Reminds me of the Wendigoons or something. Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean like from Until Dawn, I guess. Not as... Okay, they're still goofier than the ones in Until Dawn game, but yeah. Until Dawn is old, right? So... Striking into the bar fight is a highlight from that show. But yeah. I guess if you guys like Scooby-Doo, I guess I do recommend the movie where all the villains come back as actual like monsters because of the experiment machine thing. I don't remember what the movie is called. Let me look up the Scooby-Doo movies. I don't recommend the other one, the island one. Scooby-Doo live action movie. Oh, it's called Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. It seems, I think. Yeah, Monsters Unleashed. I have no idea what the first one is. Is it actually? I have no idea. Wait, let me look up. It's live action. I mean, it's still weird seeing the CG. I won't lie. of Scooby. To be honest. I'll be completely honest, but let me see. Yeah, it's a weird movie though. You know, I'll be honest, the live action movies are kind of weird, but that one was. I actually like that one just because of the monster stuff. I meant the one from that show Supernatural. Oh, I never really grew up watching American TV live action stuff because, yeah. I think I said this before, guys. Even though I want to watch stuff like Supernatural, my parents were like, no, it's horror. That's why I never grew up playing horror or like shooter games. The Velma scene was weird. It's true. I told you, to be honest, guys, the live action Scooby-Doo movies they're pretty weird. Compared to like the animated ones. Dude, one of my favorite animated Scooby-Doo movies is still the one with like the one where they go into the game world and then they're being like chased by that like blue monster thing. I don't remember which one that one was called. It's been way too long since I watched any of the animated Scooby-Doo movies. Like even it's like super long. That was my favorite one. I remember I watched that one I watched that one on repeat quite often. Zoinks. But yeah, that Scooby-Doo movie that was my favorite animated Scooby-Doo movie. There was some weird Scooby-Doo movies, like the one where like they go to like that like witch's place and like they're like cat and they're actually like humanoid cat monsters. Like they're actual monsters and they're not like humans. They're like and there's like some weird curse thingy with like the moon or something. And, like how like the island is littered with cats. The cats are cute though. I like cats, but like but like there's like the weird supernatural stuff. Oh, there's that other animated Scooby-Doo movie with like the aliens, like how the three people are was it three? I think it was the three people pretending to be aliens or something. It's just been way too long since I've watched any of these. And like Shaggy has like a romance with one of the aliens because like they're disguising as a human girl at that point. Oh, and there's that other Scooby-Doo movie with like the lava stuff. I think. Jeepers, cat monsters. Yeah, at least for the Cat Island period because the cats aren't cute. I mean, the normal cats aren't cute, but like the monster cat women are not cute. I want to say that was my least favorite one. I remember there was this one Scooby-Doo movie I didn't like only because I thought it was more boring. Than like, is it the Loch Ness Monster one? I remember there was this one Scooby movie I didn't really like because I thought it was pretty boring. I think it might be the Loch Ness Monster one. It's been way too long since I've seen any of this stuff. But yeah. I remember as a kid, when I watched Harry Potter, I remember when I was watching, to be honest, as a kid, when I first watched the Harry Potter movies as a kid, my least favorite movie was initially 4, only because I didn't like the romance in it, all the romance stuff in it. I think I said this before, but I wasn't a huge fan of romance even as a kid. Like for example, when I read shoujos, I prefer stuff like Tsubasa, Reservoir Chronicle, or like Cardcaptor Sakura that actually has a plot ongoing, rather than like just shoujos where it's just like romance on top of romance. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the 4th movie as a kid for Harry Potter, only because of the romance. I like it now as I got older. But yeah, as a kid, I didn't really like the romance. I was just like, and I remember as a kid, I was just like, I didn't like Cho Chang. I didn't like, I didn't really like the romance between Hermione and Ron in the 4th movie. That was really annoying. Like really annoying. I mean, I like it now as it developed more as I got older, but I remember as a kid, I was like, I was a weird kid. That's why I wasn't a fan of like some other movies. For Disney movies, I never hated the romance, but I was like, I'd rather see the singing and the and like the ending finale plots. Oh, I remember this one movie. It's not a Disney movie. I don't remember what the movie is called though. It's like the Black Cauldron or something. Let me look it up. The Black Cauldron. Yeah, the Black Cauldron. It's this animated movie where, to be honest, it's not like amazing or anything. But the reason why I vividly remember this movie, I should say vividly, but the reason why I remember this movie still to this day is because at my local library, what a local libraries I went to at the time, that had VHS tapes, that you could rent, obviously. I think libraries still have like rentable DVDs, I think to this day or whatever, but one of the movies they had there was the Black Cauldron, and I think it was one of my older siblings. I don't remember which one. They were really obsessed with this movie, so I watched it pretty often. But to be honest, I don't know a lot of people who know this movie. But yeah, that was one movie I watched quite often as a kid. At home through VHS tape. I don't even remember what the movie is about anymore. Oh, they also had that one VHS tape about that one movie from the library went hard. I remember they had this one movie. I don't know what it's called actually, but it's this movie where the girl becomes a swan, and like the guy doesn't know she's a swan. I don't remember what movie this is. It's been so long since I watched it. It's like Wait, let's see. Animated kid movie where heroine becomes a swan. I don't know what this movie was called. The Swan, was it? Is it the Swan Princess? Yeah, it's the Swan. It's called the Swan Princess. I just looked it up right now. I remember this movie. Okay, I don't remember this movie that much, but I remember watching it a few times. I remember how weird. I remember how weird the movie was. Like in the beginning, not the beginning, but like the middle, with like the main character being the swan, and like the main guy character like not really being helpful. Is it Black Cauldron? Yeah, it's to decipher that. LOL. Yep. I literally typed anime kid movie where the heroine is a swan. Let's just didn't remember its name. I should have known it was Swan Princess. It's in the title. Is Black Cauldron a Disney movie? I don't know. It is, I guess. Oh, it is. I never knew. I don't remember this one being that popular though, I think, when it first came out, I think, right? But I remember this movie because when my older siblings liked it a lot and they would get it. To be honest, I don't remember anything of the movie anymore, actually, even anymore, if someone asked me. But I remember this movie. When was it again? Oh yeah, oh, I remember there's this one weird movie I remember watching. I watched it with like a family friends kids. I didn't really like the movie, but like whatever. It's called like the movie is just called Robots. It's an animated CG movie, but I don't know. It's a kids movie, but I don't know who made it. Look it up. Robots animated. Oh, here it's 2005 film. Robots. It's made by Blue Sky Studios. I didn't like this movie. I remember watching it though because the only reason I remember watching it in my memory is because I watched it with some family friends. But it was great. It's more like I didn't hate it, but it's more like I didn't think it was as amazing as they're because they're like, oh, we have to watch this movie, and I was like, okay. I watched it and I was like, it's not amazing. It was like pretty okay. And like I liked this. I liked the CG in the world, but I thought the main character was a really weak main character. The villains were actually kind of interesting. I remember the little bit I can remember of it, but I didn't find the main character that interesting. Have you ever graced with watching Shark Boy and Lava Girl as a kid? Oh, okay. So Shark Boy and Lava Girl as a kid. Okay, so the way I watched Shark Boy and Lava Girl as a kid, guys, is that basically I had these other family friends who had Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and they had the 3D glasses with had the 3D glasses that you could purchase with the DVD, yeah, with the DVD, the 3D DVD thingy, and they had just enough for 4 pairs. So basically I actually watched it with the 3D glasses. I don't know why. I thought Shark Boy and Lava Girl and Spy Kids were the same as a kid. But yeah, I don't know why. But every time we went to their house when we were kids, we watched that movie and Snow Dogs all the time. Snow Dogs is I forgot who played the main character of Snow Dogs. Let me look it up. Snow Dogs movie. Snow Dogs is also a really old movie. The main character is played by Cuba Gooding Jr. Yeah. So every time we went to their house, we'd always watch Snow Dogs and Shark Boy and Lava Girl all the time. I don't know. I have no idea why, guys, but we would always watch those two. I would always watch those 2 movies. So I watched What Time Is in Your Country Now? Basically afternoon. So what was I again? But yeah, Snow Dogs was one. I don't know why we watch Snow Dogs all the time. I mean, dogs are really cute though. They're really cute. I like the dogs, but like, we always watch that with Shark Boy Lava Girl. So I think I've watched them like 8 or 9 times, maybe 10. I didn't go to their house that often, but when we did, it's 2 a.m. here right now. Oh gosh, you guys are up so late. I mean, I work a night shift, so I shouldn't be talking. But so yeah, I do sleep after my streams, guys. By the way, but basically but yeah, for Snow Dogs and Shark Boy Lover, I would always watch those. To be honest, I wasn't a fan of Shark Boy Lover Girl as a kid, but anyway, I didn't hate the movie as a kid. Like when you're still a kid, you think the movie's still kind of cool, in a way, but like not like I mean, I didn't think it was super cool. I like Spy Kids as a kid. To be honest, Spy Kids, I don't think I watched all of them though. I watched the first two, and the third one is the video game one, I think. So I did watch that one. I think that was the video game one. I don't remember which. I don't remember them by their order. After the third one, after the second one, Spy Kids movies. Yeah, third one is the movie one. I actually did not know there was a fourth one. I just when I looked up this one, I just looked up the Spy Kids right now. I was like, when I saw the fourth movie, I was like, wait, what? There's a fourth movie, but I can see that this one doesn't have any of the same characters anymore. I don't want to be the guy. Oh my gosh, that part was really funny. But he's like the guy. But yeah, to be honest, I wasn't a fan of the third movie. Even as a kid. Okay, to be honest, the part I liked the most about the third movie, I actually liked the grandpa and how he actually had the character development and / arc of like wanting to get revenge, because like he did kind of like, get like, I forgot what the villain did to him, to be honest. Wait till didn't he contribute to part of him being on a wheelchair? I don't remember. It's been way too long, but I actually did like his character arc with the villain. Some of the game stuff was actually kind of cool. Okay, to be honest, I think I would have preferred the movie more if it wasn't in 3D actually. Because even as a kid, I thought the 3D effects were kind of weird. Namely like for example, the robot fight one. As a kid, I didn't think it was that cool. I thought it just looked really weird. Or like the random like cuckoo bird. Was it a cuckoo bird? No, I don't think it was that movie. But the really random shots. I can tell. Flying pigs were worth. My favorite, to be honest, was probably. I'll still say the first movie was my favorite actually, even to this day. It's the one I rewatched the most from the three. I rewatched the third one, the second most, not by choice though. Mostly because the VHS tape thing, not VHS tape thing, but also just because of it was on TV. I think it would rerun on TV a few times, and people liked watching the third one on TV at times. But yeah, I like the first one the most. It was really cool. Dude, as a kid, when I saw those microwave like meal packs they had in the first movie, where like he puts it in and it became like the McDonald's meal or whatever, I was like, that's cool. That's actually legit pretty cool. I still remember that actually. Yeah, Spy Kids was really cool movies, a series as a kid. What other movies were there? I watched a lot of Disney, like a lot of Disney. Oh, Fantastic Beasts. To be honest, I was not a fan of Fantastic Beasts, even though it looked cool. I never watched past the first movie in the movie theaters. But yeah. It was still pretty cool watching the first movie though. What else is there? What other movies that I watched as a kid? Oh, How to Train Your Dragon. I remember the reason why we ended up watching the first movie is because I went and slept over at one of my friend's house, and then they were like, and then one of them was like, "Oh, do you guys want to watch How to Train Your Dragon?" The first one ever. The first one had just come out pretty recently. I think the DVDs or them. And I was like, "Oh, I've never watched it before," and all of them were like, "Oh, blasphemy!" Okay, they didn't say blasphemy, but they're like, "Oh," and then that's when we watched it, and all of us were like, "It's such a good movie." Well, because more and more about Grindelwald versus the heroes, so maybe you wouldn't like it if you like the monsters more. I see. That makes sense. Yeah, to be honest, yeah, I watched both the 7th movies with my friends. Because I didn't. Okay, one trend. Okay, as much as I like Harry Potter movies, I didn't like how they started the trend where they did the part 1, part 2 movies. That really annoyed me actually. Oh my gosh, I remember this one movie I hated watching in the movie theater, but my parents took me there. And none of us could, and they already had bought the tickets, so none of us could say anything. It was a Twilight movie. I actually didn't like Twilight at all. I read the books, by the way. I read the books when I was in elementary. I read all 3 or 4 books in elementary slash middle school, because I think I was like going into middle school anyway. When the last book came out, I think. But I really did not like Twilight. I read all 4 books, and the movie was coming out, and I was like, oh, good thing I don't have to go watch the movie. And my parents were like, oh, we heard this movie is like good for kids. Like it's like popular for kids. So like, why don't you guys watch this movie? And I was like, no. And then my dad took us, and then to be honest, it's not fun watching. Okay, as much as I like my dad, it's not fun watching movies with him because he always sleeps every time I watch a movie in the movie theaters. I like my dad though, but yeah, no matter what movie we watch in the movie theaters, he always ends up sleeping in them. He slept through Inception. He slept through some other movies too. And I was like, Dad, please, I'm really grateful that you brought us here and stuff, but like, can you like not sleep? So I want to talk with you about the movie after it's done, but like he sleeps. Have you ever read graphic novels like Bone? Okay, let me look that up first. Bone. I might know what you're talking about, but I don't think I've read it. Oh yeah, I know. I've seen it before. Yeah, I never read Bone actually. I think I said this before in a way earlier stream. But my mother really hated comics actually, and like manga and stuff, and like graphic novels and stuff. So like if I wanted to read them, I had to like read them at like when I read them when I was visiting the library and my parents weren't and my mother wasn't around, because yeah. That's when I would read manga growing up. Actually, that's why I watched anime way more when I grew up. You know, those like part 1, part 2, part 3 animes they used to have on YouTube and stuff. That's how I used to watch my anime actually when I was way younger. I wasn't allowed to own any comics and manga and stuff actually, or even like really read them, like even graphic novels and stuff. So sadly, I didn't get to read it. Yeah. YouTube anime was the way. Exactly. During those days before Crunchyroll, it was way before Crunchyroll and everything. YouTube watching part 1, part 2, part 3 on YouTube was the way. That's how I used to watch my anime. But yeah. I sadly didn't get to read much graphic novels when I got older or manga. Now I read manga. Of course now. And manhwa or Korean webtoons as well. Sometimes I actually go to the Korean raws and read them ahead. Venice. But yeah, sometimes I go to for Korean, because that says I'm Korean, so sometimes I go ahead and read Korean ahead on the actual websites, but it's hard to read some on other websites because you actually have to pay. And I think you actually need a Korean account, like specifically like Korean phone number account. So I don't know how people manage to like I don't know how people VPN it though, because like, yeah, I got here too late. Oh, it's fine. I'm still like sitting here talking for a while. Part 1 of 8, each 3 to 5 minutes on YouTube too. Did you have fun cooking? Yep. Just made a sandwich with the leftover ingredients we had, that I had in the house. I'll probably just make an omelet tomorrow. Not a rolled egg, because I don't think I have enough eggs. I don't think I have enough eggs for a rolled egg, but I'll just make myself an omelet tomorrow with the other stuff that I have left. But yeah, I didn't like really. I wish I read graphic novels and stuff going. Any manga and manhwa I read just starting out. Maybe try the ones in webtoons. Webtoons has a lot of stuff for free. Okay, some of them are behind paid daily pass stuff. Okay, the thing about Webtoon that I don't like is that some series used to be free, but after they completed, like a month or two after they completed, they locked them behind like daily pass, which is like the paid reading system. I'll be honest, if you guys like sail the 7 seas for them, I won't say anything for those ones specifically. Like one of my favorite ones was Hookie. Hookie was basically about these two siblings, witch siblings, witch siblings, Damien and Dorian, who basically were supposed to go to this a magic academy, but they missed the bus, and they're like, oh god, because like they can't really learn magic properly unless they go to this academy in a way. So they're like kind of like what are we gonna do basically? But they've managed to find this like this wizard guy actually in the town. They were supposed to, not in a town, but like in this one area. So they basically beg him to teach them. And at first it starts off as this sort of daily, like not daily, but at first it starts off as like this like cute like story about these two kids trying to learn magic, trying to understand the difference between humans and witches, because like humans and witches are kind of like actually like different beings in the world, even though they both look human. But how it eventually develops into this huge like action, like magic fights, like what it means to be a witch, what it means to be a human, whether the two can coexist, and how there's this huge prophecy about a witch or wizard that might destroy like the world or like overtake the humans and stuff, and it's partially the reason why some humans are scared of witches and wizards. I actually do recommend this one, though. Yeah, you would have you'd have to sell this high seas to read it because it is daily pass, which means you have to pay for the chapters. But it used to be free, so I won't judge you guys if you guys want to sell the 7 seas for this one. But that sounds interesting. Yep. The art is a little bit rough in the beginning because this work has actually went on for like several years. The art is really good, and the art is really good when it ends. But I do recommend this one actually a lot. And it does have romance in it, but it doesn't bother me. I don't mind if the romance is secondary actually to the story. As I said, I'm not really a fan of actual romance works, but yeah. Oh, I don't know if you guys read this, but Omniscient Reader. It's on Webtoon on the Korean Webtoon site, so it's not locked behind anything. So you can read it completely for free from chapter 1 to even the newest chapter that's translated. I recommend this one. It's really good. It's basically about this guy who is a normal office worker, who basically is on a train one day, and he's basically reading this novel, this online novel he's always been reading ever since he was in middle school. And how I dropped my hair. I was playing with my hair tie in my hand while I was talking to you guys. Anyway, basically, the last chapters gets uploaded, and he's basically like he's basically happy because he's like, oh, like I finally finished this work. It's been going on for so long. I'm like the only one who's like I'm the only one left who's reading it. So, there's a reason why that he's the only one who's actually, he's like literally the last viewer, by the way. Like it's explained later, and actually explained in a later arc why the work became that way. But how he's like the last reader technically after the first like 200-ish chapters or something. I forgot how much chapters when the other people stopped reading it. But he's like finally finished it. He's like, oh yeah, I finally finished reading it. Like I'm so glad. And then all of a sudden he gets a message from the author saying, oh, like can you please I'll give you like the entire text of the novel in like a document, because I want to actually publish this work, and because you're like my only reader who made it to the ending, I want to like offer this like novel to you as a gift. And he's like, oh, okay, like thanks and stuff. But when he receives it, the train starts. The train stops and things start going wrong in the train. And the main character, he very quickly realizes, because he's reread the novel, like the beginning chapters and stuff several times too. But the main character, he's like, oh god, because he realizes that what's happening in the train is what's happening in the first chapters of the novel. and he's like, oh, like how is this even possible? Because this is still like the real world. This is still like Korea. Like this isn't like, we haven't been transported into any other world basically. So basically he realizes that their world is somehow the actual world that the novel is based on. The novel is also based in Korea too, but it's a fantasy novel where like you wouldn't think that your actual Earth would actually become like this novel Earth. You know what I mean? So the big thing about the novel is that he's not the main character. He's not even a character in the novel at all. The actual novel character is okay, let me get his name right because I always forget the name. I feel bad. I told you guys I have really bad names, even though I read novels and all this stuff pretty often. Reader, characters. The main character is called Kim half isekai, technically, yeah. And basically the isekai stuff coming over to the actual world and like forcibly mixing with it in a bunch of like in a trial, in basically like a way of trials. Basically, like they're given like how the monsters come over through the use of trials and everything, and it's just set up this world for all this other stuff. Let's see. Yeah, so the main character is called Kim Dokja, which I believe the Hanja for the name. Hanja is like a way that the Korean names are kind of decided sometimes. That's all. I guess I'll just put it plainly because it's actually more complicated than what I'm describing it as. But yeah, it actually does mean something. I believe it means like reader. It means reader, whatever. Yeah, so the meaningful name. He's actually not the main character or any character in the novel. The actual main character is someone called Yoo Jong Hyuk, who's basically what the actual novel is about is that the actual MC Yoo Jong Hyuk, he's actually, okay, let me see what his actual Korean spelling of his name is because I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So I feel bad if I'm not. Oh, it's Yoo Jung Hyuk. Is it? I don't know. Let me see. Checking the name pronunciation actually right because I don't want to mispronounce it. Oh, it's actually Yoo Jung Hyuk, actually. I don't know how they spell it in the English version, actually, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, so the MC Yoo Jung Hyuk, the entire story is basically about him, the actual MC, about him actually being part of this huge Korean fantasy apocalypse, I guess is the way to describe it in a way. Fantasy, when I mean fantasy, I mean like fantasy stuff coming over into the world and like destroying the modern world as they know it, like, you know, like because these fantasy creatures are way stronger than like, you know, normal humans. It's basically about Yoo Jung Hyuk as the main character, who is actually a regressor, in that the way the actual novels are written is that it's him trying to complete all the trials slash like these huge stages that the humans are given to pass, but how he keeps on dying because like he keeps on dying, so he regresses all the way back to the starting point. So that's what the original novel that Dokja was reading about, actually, about this guy called Yoo Jung Hyuk who keeps on dying and regressing over and over again and trying to get further and further and further past the trials in each loop he's in, until he gets to the ending. So basically the main character is like freaking out because he doesn't know if the main character has already looped several times before, but he assumes he has. Because he's in a different train compartment, because he finds out they're on the same train in the first place, but they're in completely different compartments. So it's basically the main character basically trying to find a way to survive in this world, and he doesn't want it to loop because you need the main character to actually save the world and actually clear all the trials eventually. So basically the main character like trying his best to like change things to make sure the main character can live, and all these other story characters can live too. And okay, there's a lot of other stuff that I'm not really explaining about how like there's all these like okay, it's a kind of, if you want to know, part of the reason why Omniscient Reader is so popular is because it's a meta narrative. What I mean by meta narrative, it basically means that it's kind of like talks about like breaking the fourth wall in a way for the main character Dokja, the actual main character, because to him he already sees all of this as he already has read all of this as a novel, but how at the same time at the same time the way the characters get their powers, by the way, is that they're being watched by all these beings that are like gods, like gods, like or angels, very famous figures like Sun Wukong, or these other really like really powerful fantasy creatures like are actually watching them like as if they're watching a Twitch stream or a YouTube stream, where they can actually like send like sponsored like money to them to make the character stronger, or items, or give them specific skills to make them stronger. And it's this huge meta narrative about that type of stuff, and how in the story itself, the more famous you are actually, and like the popularity of the person who sponsors you actually affects what kind of how strong you can actually be. Like if you get sponsored by like kind of like an unknown, like maybe like someone that like Korean people know but like other people don't know, but other places in the world don't know, maybe like for example like it's not a really good example, but you know Christopher Columbus or whatever, like being sponsored by him, for example, compared to like being sponsored by like the freaking demon lord himself, you know, there's a big difference, okay? like it's big because like, one thing I like about this series is that how none of the characters are actually useless. All of them can actually fight in some way and be useful in some way. And then when you see everyone's skill sets develop completely differently, it's really, really interesting to see. And what else is there? And basically, another part of this, another big part of it is like how they clear the trials also depends on like what rewards they can even get, like whether they make a huge lasting impact or not. It's basically a really interesting story in that way. And if you want if you want to know the original, this manhwa, Omniscient Reader, it's actually adapted from actual Korean novels that were written quite some time ago. Actually, the entire series is completed. Wait, Omniscient Reader novels. I remember when they first were created. Let me see. Actually, I don't know when the novels were created, but they were created some time ago. Like I think like they're not that recent. They're like probably like 5 or 6 years old now. So yeah. So it's really fun. Action is really, really cool. It's so fun. And that kind of main character isn't like a super goody two shoes, because as much as I do like my characters, you know, not being like evil or whatever, I don't like it when they're pushovers or whatever, like going like, oh, because this villain repents now, like I will let them go, and then the villain later causes problems, and I'm like, why? But like I appreciate that in main character. So yeah, that's one web novel. That's another webtoon I recommend. It's really fun. It's if you guys don't know, the thing about Korean manhwas is that they're actually in color. They're mostly in color, actually. I guess that's how they got their stand in the industry compared to manga and comics, I guess. When I mean in color, like they're also in a vertical format, so you usually scroll down to read Korean manhwas. It's pretty uncommon to find them releasing traditional books now. I guess is what we're trying to say. Oh, there's also Solo Leveling, if you guys haven't heard of it. It's actually getting an anime. I don't know when it's gonna be released. It got announced though, with like one visual, I think. One teaser visual, but The only reason why I recommend this one is because, okay, so you can actually, I don't know where you can read this though. I think I'll go to a paid site to read this, but if you guys want to read it through other means, I'm not gonna say anything. Just don't tell me that you can read it through other means. It's called solo leveling, where it's basically, okay, solo leveling I guess would be a good introduction into this really popular genre in Korean webtoons called dungeon. It's like this dungeon. It's like called dungeon. Like, I forgot. It actually has a name in Korean, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's a really popular genre where it's dungeons basically appearing in modern day Korea / the entire world in general. But it always takes us in Korea because my kid is a Korean and it's written by Koreans. All these works. And when I mean the dungeons open, like these weird portals come out of the are kind of spring everywhere, or like some places on Earth basically become like entrances to these dungeons, and basically where people can and how humans awaken powers. The way that what powers they get is usually different depending on what the work is, but the main character usually, of course, awakens some type of OP power, obviously. After going through some struggle in his life beforehand, like maybe he almost died, or maybe he suffered a really bad life and goes back in time with like this really powerful skill or like power. So the way they start is pretty different, but it's usually them having some type of like down in their life, and they basically get this power, and I remember dropping it, but I forgot why. I'll probably give it a shot. Yeah, the thing about solo leveling is that, okay, to be honest, the novels, I really don't recommend reading the novels. I don't think they're that interesting. The manhwa is probably the way to go, / the webtoon, depending on where you read it. But the reason, okay, to be honest, partially the reason why it's so popular because the art is amazing. The art is actually really good. Okay, the art is a bit rough in the beginning, only because the art is before the studio who made it. The studio who made it actually got solidified their like art style actually for this work and some of their other works, action works. But after, I believe after this 20th chapter is, or no, around the 20th chapter is when the art style starts solidifying, and it just gets better and better after that. But yeah, so basically humans in this world, they work into powers, and they basically dive into these dungeons to bring back all these like really amazing items, and how the world changes with of course these dungeon divers they're usually called hunters, by the way. In almost all of these works, they're called hunters, or they're literally called S class, A class, stuff like that, whatever. That's the other one where they're usually ranked by or called by. They usually start like ruling the earth / kind of making the laws around, and some of the main character struggles can come from that, from being initially weak and later becoming just as strong as them. But yeah, that's how usually a lot of these works go. There's actually so many variations of these works in the Korean genre. Actually, some of them are good, some of them are not that good. But solo leveling is the reason why I recommend solo leveling, because it's a really good entryway into this genre, in my opinion. Also because the entire series is actually completed, by the way. So that's a partial reason why I do recommend it. What else is there? For solo leveling specifically, it's basically about this guy who basically works to support his family because his father went missing / died, and the mother is in a hospital because she's in a coma. So it's basically the main character struggling to make ends meet while supporting his younger sister. But how when he became the hunter / the people who could go to dungeons, he didn't awaken his powers with a really strong powers or anything. He's basically weak sauce, super weak sauce. But how he and his team who go into the dungeon stumble upon this extremely powerful dungeon way beyond any of their leagues, and even the strongest person in their group. and how they're literally at the mercy of this like of the monsters in there, but how in there the main character somehow manages to survive, and become and manage to gain this really powerful ability slash power and other stuff in general. I don't want to like, you know, like how a lot of these ones go in this genre. And basically he basically decides to change his life around, and yeah, so, and he basically eventually becomes really strong and all this other stuff. So yeah, it was really called solo leveling, as the main character doesn't really ever get party members, in a way. That's all I'm going to really say. But yeah, the art is amazing later on, like pretty early later on, and really amazing later on. And it's a good entryway into the genre in general. The sad thing about, yeah, he gets yoked. Oh yeah, the sad thing about the series though is that the lead artist and the artist who basically solidified the studio's later works, Marcel for the later works, he actually sadly passed away recently, due to illness. I think it might be because he was also overworked too, because a lot of people in this industry are also overworked, sadly, like in the normal manga and comic book industry and stuff. He sadly passed away. I mean, the other works are still being worked on just fine, but it's sad that that he died. Since he basically created all this stuff, basically solidified and made the studio really popular. Yeah, I hate to see it happen. Yeah. What was it again? Yeah, so I do recommend reading that one if you want to get into that genre specifically. What else is there? Oh, this one work I really like. I don't. Okay, it's very plot heavy. So even though there's romance in it, the romance isn't like super critical to. Okay, even though romance is also a big part of the story, it mostly also ties in with the plot as well in a way. I guess what I mean by that is that it's called Your Throne. Is this work about these two girls, Medea and Psyche? I think that's how to pronounce her name. It's basically how the two of them are competing at this point in their lives to become the crown princess. Medea, because she kind of was raised her entire life to kind of like be the crown princess and win against all the girls. And then how Psyche is this new girl who came out of nowhere in a way, and she's like part of the candidates, and how she became the only other one left. Now she's not as like skilled as Medea in anything really, but she has just a kind of compassionate heart. That time she does look good. Thanks. And so you initially think it might be like this huge romance, but it's not. It's really not. All I'll say is that basically, after all these pretty actually harsh events on both girls, they basically end up meeting in this temple. I don't want to spoil too much, but they end up meeting in this temple. And then Medea hates Psyche so much, and Psyche, I think that she hates Medea. She also like doesn't really. She also knows it kind of like because of how unskilled she is, and how she's competing against her, and how she actually has a chance and everything, and all this other stuff. The two of them basically have an encounter in the temple where something happens. I won't say what the incident is, but an incident happens. And then the two of them actually end up switching bodies. And this is the least of the crazy stuff that happens, by the way. So you think it's initially a romance in a way, but no, it's not. And then after that, it becomes so super plot heavy with the two girls with the body switch. Them finding out a lot of things about other characters that they wouldn't know unless they weren't in the others' bodies. And then yeah, it's a really good work actually. I do recommend reading that one. It's more of like it's partially a thriller in my opinion because of how huge the mysteries are, and how the main characters can like have to like avoid death and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, so it's like a roller coaster. Yeah, I do recommend it though. It's pretty good. Oh, another series that I like for webtoons and Korean manhwas in general. It's basically Sweet Home. It had a Netflix adaptation, by the way, though it ends super differently. So I do recommend going to read the webtoon anyway. But if you guys have Netflix and want to watch the series first before you want to try the webtoon, okay, 2 months. I don't love it. Yeah, Sweet Home. If no one knows, it's a horror. As I said, I think I said this before. I really love horror actually, but 2 months I do wish to play more horror games on the channel, but my poor little, I guess it's a bit of a potato. I guess a poor little potato laptop can't handle some of the horror games I really want to play. That's actually kind of mid though. Yeah, to be honest. Okay, if anyone liked the Netflix adaptation, you would definitely like the webtoon. The webtoon, the scares are like so much better. It's really good. The story is told I think the story is told in a slightly better way. So the mystery is like really good, and it's like not as like, and how it's just how they slowly reveal more stuff rather than like all the stuff they revealed in the manhwa. And then, as I said, the endings are super different. Actually, like, they're really different after a certain point. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. For people who have read and watched Sweet Home, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. The part where the new people come in, I guess that's all I want to say, but or they really come to the other group. The story takes a complete 180 in the Netflix adaptation, and it becomes super different. But in the manhwa adaptation, so the manhwa adaptation is like really different. To be honest, the webtoon / manhwa is, I'll be honest, I do think it's better than the Netflix adaptation, only because I do think it has more of the horror actually, even in the later chapters. I think because like, okay, to be honest, I'm not a fan when some shows when horror becomes way too actiony towards the ending. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not. It kind of depends on like how the movie was like kind of initially supposed to be in a way. I guess what I'm talking about is that if anyone here is watching Summertime Rendering, the anime, it's already almost done too, so I only have 1 or 2 episodes left, but anyone's been watching Summertime Rendering, and I do actually okay, if you guys can watch this anime, I do recommend it. Summertime Rendering is a thriller, supernatural thriller. That's all I'm gonna really say. Because like, the reason why I don't want to spoil too much about this one is because the whole point is that you're not supposed to really know anything going in. Because I'm waiting for it to finish. Yeah, as long as it's that you really shouldn't know anything before going in. Because I'll be honest, if you know, and I don't even recommend watching any of the trailers, because it really spoils like the huge major twists in like the first arc, which you don't want to be spoiled on, because all the rest of the arcs build on all this twists and mysteries revealed in the first arc. I don't know what the story is about. For Summertime Rendering, okay, without going into too much spoilers, or trying not to do too much spoilers, I mean, basically Summertime Rendering is about this guy who goes back to live at an island he grew up in. So yes, people speak in a country accent, Japanese country accent, because it's like not anywhere near the city really. And the reason why he's going back there is because his childhood friend, that he actually grew up with, because his parents died actually. And he basically he's semi-adopted by this family, but like he wasn't adopted by them legally officially, but they basically took care of him and they were his guardian. They're legally his guardians. Basically one of the daughters in the family, who he and everyone else will think they will land the ending. They will, but my only complaint with the ending is that it becomes really actiony in the last like 2-3 episodes. Because I read the entire manga before I actually watched the anime. It becomes, I guess how people compared it. It was like people compared it in like, it was initially like Silent Hill, and then it kind of became like Resident Evil. Specifically only in the last arc, by the way. The other arcs are still actually super mysterious and like a lot of horror and suspense. It's the last arc specifically that has a lot of action in it, which makes sense, I guess, but that's all I'm gonna really say for that part. So yeah, so basically the main character goes back to the island because the daughter of the people who took him in died. And the reason why it's kind of a big deal is because everyone kind of knew that he loved her, and she loved him. Even though he left to go live in the city to go to school there. So everyone kind of thought the two of them, would basically end up together, and either her leaving to go to him, or him leaving, or him coming back. So basically, he goes there to attend her funeral. So after the funeral, all this weird stuff is happening, like a lot of weird stuff. I don't want to get into it, but the only thing I'll say is that it's supernatural, so there's inhuman stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I want to say. It's a really huge spoiler on like just describing even one thing of it, so I don't want to spoil anything. But and then so all the rest of the arcs build off on all the mysteries that are revealed in the first all the mysteries in the first arc. Yes, it's a supernatural mystery horror series. It becomes more of an action towards in the final arc. It's still fine because it makes sense. It was building up to it anyway, but I just didn't like how there wasn't much horror in anything. But I still like it a lot though. I do recommend it a lot. What were we talking about before this though? Oh, Sweet Home. Yeah, so Sweet Home. If you guys watch a Netflix adaptation, you'll definitely like the webtoon version / manhwa version, depending on where you guys read it, I guess. If you guys don't know what Sweet Home is about, basically this main character who really feels like there really isn't anything to his life yet. It feels like a softcore for me. To be honest, I'll probably do a spoiler talk on probably on Summertime Rendering and other shows like later, like a spoiler Zatsudan on him. Because I do want to talk about him. I do like it a lot. And made it Abyss and stuff like that. Way later. Because I don't want to spoil too much because some of these shows, I feel like people going into it without knowing anything is what makes it really good. Like, remember Cabin in the Woods, if you guys know that movie, that movie. It's a really good movie if you don't know anything about it going into it. Like, it's a really good movie, in my opinion. If you already know all the twists and know all the spoilers for it, it's so boring. It's like actually pretty boring because like you're like just like, because you already know everything, so it's like, well, who cares type of thing. Yeah, stuff like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, so I do recommend Sweet Home. Oh, and I don't know if you guys know, but I did get a prequel series called Shotgun Boy. I don't know if anyone has read it. But yeah, Sweet Home does have a prequel series. It's manhwa webtoon only called Shotgun Boy. It literally just completed last month, I think. So I do recommend that one too. It's actually really good. It's really, really good, and it ties into Sweet Home. It's really, really good. Ooh, we'll check it out. Yep, it's finished. Yes, it's finished. It's finished, guys. So it's finished. It's not as long as Sweet Home too, so you can actually finish in a day or two. It's not that long, and it has a lot of good horror. It's so good. But yeah, I guess I'll play Sweet Home first. So Sweet Home, for anyone who hasn't watched or read it, is a horror / thriller / supernatural stuff because there's monsters in it. About this guy who yeah, the Shotgun Boy. Yep. It's about Sweet Home is basically about this guy who really feels like his life is so worthless that after he wants to watch this movie that's gonna come out in like 2 or 3 weeks time, I think he's gonna take his own life, sadly. What's your progress master doing right now? Right now my master progress is I'm just like building up gems right now for the next stream. Also, I'm wait for an event to drop before I stream Master Duel again. I have current progress right now. I've just been building up gems a little bit. Trying to clear more of the solo mode because there's some stuff I haven't cleared yet, even from the earlier gates, like especially the mini ones instead of where you have to actually use little orb things to unlock the gates, unlock the other gates instead of them. I've been slowly making my way through it. I've also been whatchamacallit. Yeah, I've also been just trying to save up gems for the next stream as well. And for the event. Yeah, so I don't want to play Match Duel until the next event drops, which hopefully is dropping soon. I don't know when it's gonna drop, but yeah, hopefully it does drop soon. But yeah, that's the current Match Duel progress right now. But yeah, I do wanna. So we're still building Wind Witch, guys, because I wanted this cute synchro set. To be honest, after this set, I'm not too sure what we're gonna start building. Because we're still saving a lot of CP to slowly complete the staples, the Master Duel staples, and stuff for other decks, still. But right now we're still something on Wind Witch. I think we only have like 3 URs left on it, which is pretty good. 3 or 4, I think, from the actual Wind Witch set, which I think is still pretty good progress compared to all the URs it actually had. So I think it's pretty good. After this, I don't know what cute girl set I want to go for. The Rika set is. Oh no, we were building up the other set, the Mayakashi and Shiranui set. I just remembered, because we managed to get a royal finish card from that set. But anyway, yeah. The next event is Synchro XC's Festival. Oh, when is it dropping? Actually, I don't know. I didn't see actually. I thought I did see, but I don't remember because the event actually hasn't dropped yet. But yeah. Yeah, so Sweet Home is basically so Guy has no family left. I won't say why he has no family, but he has no family left. He didn't really achieve much with his life. And next week, okay. I'll publish a new game next week. And then basically, so basically he's waiting for the movie to come out, in theaters. And he's counting down the days and stuff, and just basically doing whatever he wants with his remaining time. But then all of a sudden, he has this really creepy encounter with his neighbor. That's what I'm gonna say. And he's like, "What, WTF?" And then very quickly everything goes to hell, and all these monsters come out and terrorize the people. And they're pretty strong monsters. They're not weak at all. They're really strong. And it's basically how them teaming up and trying to survive with the food supply they have and medical supplies they have, along with them trying to like take down the monsters, or at least defend themselves against the monsters, and stuff. It's a really good work. It's mostly horror and suspense, despite all the supernatural like monsters and stuff, actually. So it's really, really good. Oh, and if you guys haven't read his previous work, which is Bastard, if you guys know, Bastard was his first work. I think that was brought over here to the West, by the same author, Sweet Home. It was made before Sweet Home. Bastard is basically a huge thriller, psychological thriller that he made about this kid who is basically has Bastard is good. Yeah, Bastard is actually really good for those of you guys who like the horror thriller stuff. It's basically about I'm just going to describe very little bit of it. It's based about this kid who basically lives with his father. But the problem is that his father is a serial killer, and the son knows because the father doesn't even bother trying to hide it. And also because the son is too scared that he might die or get killed by the father as well. There's a huge psychological thriller of like, how is the main character gonna get out of this? Is he gonna even get out of this? Will the dad even get caught? The dad's next targets, like stuff like that. It's like this huge thriller about the son and the dad, basically, and then eventually they'll obviously go against each other, obviously. But that's how the beginning starts. Without giving away too much. So I do recommend that one if you guys like horror thriller. I like that one a lot. I like. Okay, one of the works I really like. Action works I like on the manhwas on Webtoon is okay, let me see what they call it in the West. I think they call it Return of the Mad Demon or something. The Mad Demon Webtoon? Yeah, Return of the Mad Demon. This is another popular genre actually in the Korean manhwa sphere, where it's based on the world of Murim, which is basically not martial artist time, ancient martial artist time, where everyone's wearing, you know, the robes. Kind of like, what movies have the type of clothing? Let me see. If you guys know Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, something like those type of time period outfits in a way. No, I don't know if they take place actually in the same time period though, but yeah, Return of Mad Demon, it's the world of Murim, martial artists. So yes, everything's martial arts. Of course it's not just pure martial arts, it's like, you know, there's like fantasy powers, supernatural power stuff in it, but Return of the Mad Demon, to be honest, the reason why I like it, because I find it like the main character is like so crazy, he's actually kind of funny. The action is really amazing in this actually, so I really like it too. I won't say it's for everyone, because if you don't like the main character, you know, being crazy and really freaking weird, like he's not like disgusting weird or anything, it's more just like how his thought process is not like sane. It's a good, I wouldn't say it's a good introductory work into the Murim genre though. To be honest, the best introductory work, one of the better introductory works into the Murim thing is probably Return of the Manhwa Sect. Manhwa Sect is really popular in a lot of these a lot of works in the genre because it's kind of based on a real place, not a real place, but it's based on a really popular. Okay, let me look it up more. If you guys, there's actually a Wikipedia page on this. If you look it up, guys. I believe there's actually a Wikipedia page for this. Yeah, it is. It's a fictional martial arts sect, but it became such a staple in these in the genre in general. But yeah, so Return of Manhwa Sect is probably the better one, even though it's slower than others in its genre. But I do recommend it. I probably recommend Manhwa Sect first, actually, despite it being slower than Return of the Mad Demon, only because it is basically what you're getting into more than Mad Demon, because Mad Demon it's really crazy. Nano Machine is good too. Yeah, if anyone hasn't read Nano Machine, to be honest, I was surprised at how long they took to bring it over to the West actually. But Nano Machine is good too. It's also Murim work. It's also very, like, I wouldn't say it's very different, but it's pretty different from the normal ones in the way the powers work. Slash martial arts stuff works in that one. But yes, I do recommend that one though as well. There's not that much chapters in it, so I think it would be a good way to get started on it too. Yeah. Yeah, that's one genre. There's a lot of, to be honest, there's a lot of romance and like drama stuff on the webtoon site I'm like looking at right now. It's just called webtoons. The entire thing, the color is green, is their theme color. I'll be honest, I don't read that many of romance and trauma because I'm not a fan of romance and trauma. Works really. I more like, if I do start them, I tend to drop a lot of them. That's the type of person I am. I don't really read that much of them to the end. 'Cause I usually get bored midway in. And then if they finish, I just get to the ending and read it. I'm not that type of person when it comes to romance and stuff, sadly. But yeah. Oh, but one romance that I am still reading on webtoons specifically is My In-Laws Are Obsessed With Me. It's because it has a lot of story and plot to it. It's not just the romance, which is why I like it. That one, it's a lot darker than the normal ones in its genre. Because one really popular genre in the Korean manhwa sphere is basically villainous ones, quote unquote villainous ones. Not all of them have villainous main characters, but what I mean by that, and also in the sphere of both shoujo manga, shoujo isekai manga, and Korean romance manhwa. It's a really popular genre right now where girls or women, depending on when they died on Earth, isekai, or go into another world. They usually go into a novel world or a game world or like a completely foreign world, and they just luckily get the memories of the previous person. They basically usually reincarnate as like the villainous character in the novel, or as just a bad person in general. Usually, my in-laws obsessed with me actually don't follow that one, where the main character is just a really minor character in it, kind of like a one-off character. I think, I don't know if she is at all, but basically, actually no, for that one specifically, I think she's actually just regressed, because for some of them they have characters who just regress within the same world, meaning that they just go back in time. I think the ones in my in-laws Sesame just goes back in time. This is not a spoiler, by the way. All of these are the chapter ones of all of these is literally, oh, I died, or oh, I went back in time to change things. So I'm not spoiling anything right now, guys. That's how all these start. So yeah, so it's a specific genre that's been overtaking both. But the reason why I like my in-laws of Sesame, because one, the main character goes back, and she actually is not dumb. Because one of my biggest complaints about some of these is that the main character acts really freaking dumb. Like, for example, like they're like 23 when they died, for example. This is an example. But then when they we get reborn as a kid, they act like they're like they actually act like they're 5 when they're like 5 years old. It's weird, so which I'm not a fan of. But yeah, so for this one specifically, the main character, for my in-laws are obsessed with me. And the main character goes back in time after being murdered. I won't say how she was murdered because that's part of the plot. And she's like, I need to find my way out of this, basically out of the situation. And she basically makes a deal with this Duke guy who everyone is scared of, and how the only reason why he takes her in, and their contract, it's a contract, so they're not really like, so she's plans to divorce him, and he's fully accepting of it, like after a year, I think, because she just wanted me only to get out of the situation she was in, and she doesn't mind like making it on her own after, so basically, and the only reason why he agreed to marry her is because she has a special thing about her that I don't want to spoil, because it's actually a big part of actually becomes a really big part of the plot later, and part of the huge mystery of the series of why she's unique in this certain way. And then Pressure is not like this. Pressure is not like it because there's a lot of mystery into it, and also the reason why I like it is that I think the romance is kind of believable of these two people who really didn't even love each other in the beginning, and they literally only getting married out of obligation. Her wanting to get out of her current situation, and wanting to basically get control of her family, because she's actually the only blood of her family left, and the rest of her relatives there are like her stepmother and like the other relatives who aren't actually her direct relatives, and we're using her husband's power to like basically actually have her power of her own noble family. And him, because he doesn't want to get married to this princess who's kind of crazy. There's actually an explanation why she's crazy later. It's not like she's just crazy just for the sake of it, but just for the sake of having a crazy character. But and basically the two of them basically very, very slowly falling in love. They don't really fall in love right away. And then having to deal with pretending to like each other, or like be polite enough to each other and everything. So yeah, so I do recommend it. It's actually really good. It's one of the few romance-ish works, shoujo-ish works, I guess, that I actually do like a lot. I mean, I know you guys are like, it's because it has mystery in it, mystery, right? I'm like, that's not the only reason, but yes, it is part of the reason. But yes, I am not a huge fan of romance, as I said, but I don't mind if it's secondary, but as primary, I tend not to read that much romance. But yes. That's why I actually have not watched a lot of romance movies, actually, at all. A few romance movies I watched are probably with my younger siblings. Oh yeah, so one of my favorite Korean movies is obviously Train to Busan. It's a horror movie, obviously. It's more See, but honestly, it's more of a thriller because later, later when you get used to the zombies, it's not as scary anymore. But yes, it's still pretty good. It's more of an emotional movie, I guess. Emotional core. Trying to hit you on your emotional core rather than it being like okay. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. That's still a really good movie, actually. No, Train to Busan is a Korean movie, basically about this guy who, too bad, he's a pretty neglectful father and husband, which is why he and his wife are divorced. And his daughter really wants his affection, but he just neglects her all the time. This is one really funny scene where he gives her a gift. It's like a Wii, or I forgot what it was. It's like a Wii or like a PlayStation. I forgot which it was. And she was like, thanks. But like, she puts it next to the exact same system. So he already bought it for her and he just bought her a for no reason. He didn't remember that he bought her the same system, basically. Yeah, it's one of the really funny scenes. There's not that much funny scenes, but it's one of the it's one of the actual funny scenes. And basically, the daughter basically kind of gives her dad an ultimatum in that, I think it was for her birthday, I think. Oh, the daughter is a super good actor, by the way. She's definitely one of the best child actors, actually. So that's why I also recommend the movie too. The acting in that movie is actually pretty good. Basically, the daughter basically pleads with him to take her to the mom, even though honestly he doesn't really want to. But he's like, okay, like fine, like I guess I'll like, you know, bring her over because she really, really wants it, even though I don't really want to see my wife or whatever. So they take a train to Busan, hence the title of the movie, ha 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 ha. And then because that's where she lives. It's a place in Korea, obviously. It's a Korean movie. I don't remember where the father and the daughter start initially though, at the train station. But basically, an affected person runs into the train during the last second. So like the train person didn't actually see it. The person in the front, like, you know, who lets the people into the doors and like close and make sure that all the doors are closed. He didn't see it. So yeah. And so of course the entire train starts getting infected, like pretty bad. And the reason why Train to Busan is actually pretty scary when you watch it until you get used to the zombies, because these zombies, they run. They are not slow. They run really fast. They and they're really relentless. There is a way to stop them from chasing you. They do have a weakness, but they freaking run. They run at you. I don't know why, but in Korea, zombies eventually started to be able to run in later movie and literature and all that other type of stuff. If you actually like look at it and stuff, it's actually pretty interesting how they decide to make the zombies run. But the zombies legit run. Hello, I am like it feels like I Am Hero zombies. Yeah, I Am Hero is basically a manga, guys. If you guys don't know, I do believe it was a live action adaptation. I do believe. Those, I think it's Japanese only though, so you would have to like sail the 7 seas, meaning you would have to pirate it to watch it. But the manga is completely available here in the West. It's a popular enough series, so technically if you go to your local bookstore, if they sell manga, they should have it there. And if you don't have the full series, they should at least have the first one, the first volume. But yeah, so yeah, zombies. Yeah, so the zombies are actually pretty scary because they freaking run at you, and I was like, oh my gosh! Like when I was first watching it. There's a Netflix show for zombies. I forgot. It was like this high schoolers with zombies, and yes, the zombies also run too. It became kind of a staple in Korean zombie stuff. Oh, there's Kingdom. If you guys Kingdom is Netflix only because it was made in conjunction with Netflix. I don't know if it's just only if you guys have Netflix. I mean, I don't know if you can guys sell the 7 seas for this because I don't know. I watch on Netflix, but like a Kingdom takes place in historical Korea. That's all I'm gonna really say. Because I don't know. To be honest, yes, I'm Korean, but I never grew up in Korea, so I could be getting my history wrong. So I don't want to see what time period it is. Because of that. Sorry, I wish I. As I said, I'm bad with names too. I think it might be Joseon though. Don't quote me on this, guys. I think it might be Joseon time period, but don't quote me on this. Kingdom is actually a zombie TV series. I guess Netflix series is a better word. Netflix series. That actually, and it takes place. It's okay. Sorry, it's a zombie series that actually takes place in an actual historical Korea. It's really, really unique. I really recommend people to try it. It's really good. It's really good actually. It's actually really recommended. It's really good. I don't want to go too into it because each episode, okay, because it's a Korean drama type of thing. By the way, if you guys don't know, Korean dramas and TV shows, they have really long episodes normally. Actually, even in like normal Korean variety shows, it's common for variety for them to go like to be around 40 minutes long, or maybe even longer, depending on what type of show it is. And Korean dramas are normally 40 episodes, for around 40 minutes or more, depending on like where it airs, how much time they have compared to like commercial time and stuff. So yeah, so these episodes are really long. So I don't even want to talk too much about the first episode. A lot happens in each episode as well. So I don't want to. That's one reason why I don't want to spoil too much. But yes, it's really, really unique in terms of the zombie genre. It's so good too. There's not that much episodes too. It's like, let me look it up how much episode it is. It's like Kingdom. I'll just put Netflix. It should just immediately show the Wikipedia page and stuff. This came out. I remember this came out quite a while ago, I think, but it's still really popular. Let's see. Yeah, there's 2 seasons, and they're both 6 episodes. Yeah, the series isn't that long when you think about it. It's just 6 episodes. I mean, yes, each episode is like pretty long, but so technically it would technically be like a 30-minute-ish. Be like if it was 30 minutes episodes, it'd technically be like around 10 or 11 episodes probably actually. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I recommend it if you like zombie stuff. It's really good. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but yeah, the set pieces are amazing. Like the actual horror and like the chase, like then legitimately trying to avoid the zombies because it was in the historical period of Korea, so there's no guns or anything like. There really isn't any guns. This thing was like really far back in Korea, so it's really, really unique, by the way. So I really recommend it. It's really interesting seeing how the characters literally try to either fight off or avoid or like hide from zombies. It's really interesting. Yeah. To be honest, for Korean dramas, I cannot recommend that many of them because the romance ones. Because I don't watch that much Korean dramas. I don't like romance. Okay. I'm not saying all of them are romance, guys, but though I grew up watching a lot of romance ones, I hated a lot of them. Sorry, mom. I mean, my parents don't know I'm a streamer. I'm a VTuber, but if I'm just saying sorry in like advance, so in case they ever find out, probably not though, but I don't live with them, so. But if they somehow ever find out, sorry guys. I didn't like it. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of Korean dramas. So I've watched some of them. I've completed less than 10 if I count my fingers. I've seen like random episodes of them because my mom really likes Korean dramas, but I completed less than 10. So I do know that. One of the ones I completed was Boys Over Flowers. That's probably it's a Korean adaptation of Hana Yori Dango. I think that's what it's called in Japanese. I don't. It was okay. It just gets so ridiculous at times, and I'm not a fan of romance. So yeah, but yeah, okay, I guess ish. I mean, I like the comedy, but I'm not a fan of the romance. There's this one really famous Korean drama. I forgot what it's called. Let me look it up. Korean drama. I think it's called like. No, it's not this one. Try to look it up. The one of the very few I've completed. I guess I'm trying to say. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. In English, it's called Autumn in my heart. In Korea, it's called 가을 동화. Which means, I think it means, if I remember correctly, that means autumn fairy tale, I think. Off the top of my head. That's one of the other few ones I completed. I wasn't a fan of it. I mean, because, you know, it's like romance, but whatever. It's basically a show about this brother and their sister who basically have grown up together all their lives, but the sister gets into a car accident, and how she's mostly fine. Just kind of like banged up a bit, but she's fine. But the big reveal is that her DNA doesn't match anyone in the family. So yeah, and then find out that she and this other girl have been switched at birth. And yeah, that's basically what the story's about. It's one of the most famous Korean dramas of all time. I just whatever about it though, because I don't like romance, but it's a classic for anyone who likes romance, I guess, who wants to try it out. Personally, I don't like. Personally, as I said, not a fan of romance. The only reason why I watched that one to completion is because my mom really wanted me and my younger siblings to watch it. Like, really wanted to watch it. She bought all the VHS tapes. Yes, VHS tapes. I said, we were both fashioned. She rented all of them out, and we watched it all in several days. And I was like dying each day. I don't remember I have no idea how old I was when it first came out, to be honest. I think I was legit like 4 or 5. I think. I was really young. Another one I finished was... It's this weird Korean drama. I mean, to be honest, it's shot way better than most of some other ones, but it's called Love from Another Star. I don't know what it's called in Korea, actually. Because I watched it, I didn't watch the Korean version of it. I actually just watched the translated version of it here. So the title was translated. And I never bothered to remember the Korean title. Love from Another Star. It's the reason why it's kind of weird too. It's just the premise is a bit weird to me. It was okay though overall. I'm not saying it was bad. It's called 벼에서 온 그대. In Korea. In Korean, I mean. It's basically about this guy who's technically an alien. He's basically the supernatural creature thing. But basically an alien, I guess. Who basically takes the form of a human. And how he's lived through these many hundreds of years until the modern day. And he gets tangled up with this actress lady who's acts like such a good person publicly, and she's really good at acting, but in private, she's like she's a super huge jerk. She's a huge jerk with a heart of gold, basically. And the two of them getting entangled with each other and stuff, because romantically, obviously, and him wanting to keep her safe and yada yada yada. To be honest, the female lead is really funny. I think there's a reason why I initially started watching it. My biggest complaint with that show is only because I didn't like how they added more episodes to it because it was more popular. The reason why I didn't like it is because I felt like it dragged the show too much. I don't like it when shows like add stuff when it should kind of finish, but it's okay. It's shot really well though, I'll admit. Especially the scenes where the main character uses his powers. It's shot pretty amazing. And the child actors are actually really good in it. I don't harp too much on child actors, but I'm just saying the reason why they're good is because they're actually really good. Yeah, I don't. To be honest, on the top of my head, I can't really remember any other Korean dramas I've watched. The romance ones. Oh, another one I watched that I just remembered right now. Is it's called I Can Hear Your Voice in the West. I don't want to look it up anymore, but to be honest, it's probably like, I'll just look it up. A drama. I can hear your voice. Okay, this one was actually kind of fun to watch because there's a huge mystery murder plots and stuff in it. 너의 목소리가 들려. Yeah, I was about to say something. I was about to say this title something really similar to that. It's basically about this boy who can actually read people's minds and hear what they're actually really saying in their heads, basically. Gacy getting entangled up with the main character when the main character is older than the main character is older than the male lead. It's basically how the two got entangled up in this huge like mystery when they're younger for the first like episode or two, and then it jumps to them all the way to the present day when the main character when the girl is a lawyer, and then the main character, I forgot the guy. I think the guy's a college student, or he's like a last year in high school student, so he's like 18, 19 basically. If you guys don't know, Korea starts school a little bit later. High school a little bit later. Or school in general a little bit later than the West, but it's very advanced in exchange. This is two of them reuniting again and having to go solving all these mysteries and eventually getting entangled up in the same mystery that had them first meet when they were kids. Goblin? Okay, I never finished Goblin even though I know I should have, because it wasn't actually that bad. Goblin is, if you guys don't know, Goblin is actually a really famous Korean drama that actually has a plot to it. And it's not just only romance. So I do actually recommend it actually, if anyone likes to watch Korean dramas. The age difference did throw me off a bit in the beginning, I won't lie. I'm not saying the main character's actually an adult. I mean, the girl is not actually an adult. But it just the main character is acting as this guy who lived for like hundreds of years. That's the reason why it's a bit weird to me in the beginning, but you get used to it. And to see how he... No, I shouldn't spoil too much of it. It's how there's something special about the main character that the main character really, really needs, and how he's not too sure if she's really like the chosen one in a way until like a certain episode where the answer is questioned, or where the answer is basically shown, I guess, whether she is actually the one or not, to basically help him with this thing. So yeah, I can really say. I don't want to say too. I think it's called Dokebi. I think, is it? I don't know. Goblin, Korean drama. Oh gosh, the English name is so long. What the heck? The full English name is Guardian, the Lonely and Great God. I didn't know it was so long. Korean name is longer than I thought too. 수수하고 찬란한 도깨비. Lonely Shining God, Goblin. Okay. Dokebi. If you guys know, Dokebi is like the Korean version of Goblin. They're not really goblins. They look pretty. They're kind of their own different type of creature in a way. They're not actually goblins. You guys know what Dokebi is. Kind of like how Japan has like yokai. Dokebi is kind of like a Korean specific type of supernatural creature in a way. So yeah. Actually, maybe I think I'll end the stream here now. I do want to talk more, but I should be getting some sleep. Also because I also have to do this one thing after I wake up before I go to work. So I do want to get us a little bit of a head start on sleeping. So I think this is a good place to end. It was fun talking to you guys about all this stuff. But yeah, so those are my monopile Rex for now to get into each of the genres. Though my in-laws are obsessed with me is a darker version of it usually. But yeah, of the Korean romance stuff. But yeah, yeah. So guys, thanks for dropping by. Tomorrow's gonna be Pokemon. I'm gonna try to stream it for a really long hour, because we haven't been able to have long Pokemon streams. It's Ultra Moon, Hardcore Randomized Nuzlocke, if you guys don't know. The waiting room is already up, so you guys can check the channel if you guys want to check what the time it is in your area. But yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be way longer than this stream. But yeah, today I have a little bit something to do after I wake up, and before I go to work. So yeah, so thanks for dropping by, everyone. Next week's schedule will come on Saturday, Sunday for some of you guys who live further away. I live in America, so yeah. So thanks for coming. I'm gonna put the ending screen up, alright? Oh yeah, and have a good morning, day, or night, alright? And